Hello and welcome to the Chronicles of Nidum, episode 29, brought to you by us, Dice of the Beholder, and streamed via our wonderful friends here at Heavyweight Gaming. If, of course, for that matter, you are still watching on Dice of the Beholder, please click the link below to Heavyweight Gaming and come and follow these guys instead, because we have moved our regular Sunday night campaign over here, so we can join lots of other wonderful, amazing content creators. I say that having watched so many sessions this week. The vampire one was awesome, session 1 this Wednesday. It's available on VOD. Give it a watch. Can't wait to see where this, proper from the ground up, learning the system seems to be. I can't wait to see where it goes. But session 1 was awesome. Give that a watch. But yes, we're here to play our completely homebrew 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So, before we go any further, last time in the Chronicles of Nidum, the party made their way to the nearest settlement they could see this side of the bridge and discovered the small village of Kairodor, or, as was translated, the Fort on the Chasm. A small and unassumingly eclectic settlement spanning out across the land from the elven fort that they had then avoided. They discovered quickly that discretion, unfortunately, was not always the best idea when trying to find the most out-of-the-way dive bar or tavern to find rooms in, discovered they had actually taken rooms in the local underground bounty hunters guild. Having recently been attacked and knowing that there was a bounty on their heads, they very quickly decided to leave and make their way further afield to the nearby city of Briscow. In doing so, trying to find a way to travel from village to city, they bumped into an old friend, Clint, from Cardiff, a ranger they'd met in the underground Humans for Freedom Guild. He, like them, was looking for an inconspicuous way to get to the nearest city of Briscow. Fortune favoured you, though, as they met an old trader looking for some labourers to help them take some heavy goods through the woods in safety to his home in the outskirts of said city. They made their way there, luckily, without any issue. And after leaving Clint to find his contacts nearby, they rested for the night in their new employer's home. So, welcome, everyone. Should have mentioned at the beginning, we do apologise. Charlie's not feeling very well today, so will not be joining us to play Oriana this evening. Oriana will be jaegered by her loving husband, Greg.
I will do my best to be just as glamorous and lovely as Charlie is.
Possibly even more so.
I will fail.
Hi, guys. Yes, so session 28. And jumping right in, you wake after a quite peaceful night. There are no issues. Your new employers did not try and murder you in your sleep.
You'll find I have an issue.
You do wake, though, after the strange dreams you had the night before. And you wake remembering, as you see your surroundings, that you find yourself in the master bedroom of your most recent employer's property, having effectively kicked out him and his elderly wife.
They volunteered.
Yeah, why did you do that, Dice? It's really horrible of you.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to get up and go outside of the room. I assume Sepsis has moved the bed across the door.
Sepsis has moved the bed across the door after a wonderful athletics check against Oriana that she failed abysmally.
I'm going to attempt to push it away from the door so I can leave.
There is a loud kind of scraping.
I assume I'm strong enough to do that, my strength being lower or as low as Sepsis.
It's a bed. With a bit of a struggle, you do manage to move it, but yeah.
Hey, I was under that bed. So
There is. You do uncover a sack of cloth and see Sepsis laying there.
I look at them and go, okay. Morning!
Why have you done this?
Because I want to leave and you insist on covering every door of every room we stay in.
That's how you get not murdered.
I'm pretty sure they weren't the murdering type Sepsis.
I'm
Can
pretty
never be
sure
too careful.
They were old enough we could have knocked them over.
Not if we were asleep and they snuck up on us and poisoned us.
But we have a dog that will warn us if anything happens.
I'm not convinced that dog's on my side.
You're a psychotic Fruit Loop. And I'm going to go out the door.
Ace is just sort of collecting their stuff together, putting on their kit and going downstairs to start helping out.
I think it was just through the door, wasn't it? It wasn't stairs.
Yeah.
As you then leave through the door, as soon as you open it, the wonderful smell of breakfast assails you. Eggs, bacon. And as you make your way down the quite short corridor into the living area that you took your meals in last night, you see that the wife of your employer is already awake, fully clothed, balancing a baby that you saw last night as well on one hip, as she flips what looks like small pancakes in a frying pan.
I go in and go, can I help?
No, my love, you're all right.
I would feel much better if you weren't doing everything.
You sit down now and I'll bring you over your breakfast.
You really
Can I
don't.
see the husband anywhere?
The husband is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna head out the front door because I assume he's out front doing some work.
Okay. As you walk out the front door then, she does not stop you, but just turns back and speaks to the baby and then just flips the pancakes again, puts them out on a plate. But as you walk outside, you go around to the side of the property where you remember helping him park his cart the night before. The cart is gone.
Okay, and I can't see any sign of him.
I think he did say he was going to get an early start. Like, that's why he wanted to move the stuff yesterday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back inside then and sit down at the table.
I go and sit with Ace and go, she won't let me help. I want to help.
Oriana is probably sitting with you, and Sepsis will make their way out slowly and creepily a little while later.
Creepily, I just have an image of you coming like round the corner like.
Yep.
Sit down now, my loves, and I'll plate you up.
Where can I find your
yes.
husband?
Oh, he's early to rise, early to work.
Did he not need us?
No, he's just going to drop the cart off nearby.
Okay.
His master's got more labourers at their homes to take the goods in.
The baby is your grandchild?
Oh no, this is my great-grandchild.
Ah, big family.
The oldest great-grandchild. I've got another one who's about a week beyond this one, and another 3 months after that, another third one.
That's a lot of mouths to feed.
Oh, I would be more if my other granddaughter wasn't a lesbian.
Ace just smiles.
She's just got cats.
Does she have
a very excellent companion, I hear.
Her and her wife have just got cats. Don't like cats.
Do you know what this place, like, this is completely off topic, but you know what this place reminds me of, Mill?
What?
Currick's house from the Sparhawk ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys sit down now and I'll just plate you up. Don't you worry, Grandma look after you.
Oh, yes, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'm not touching that stuff.
Just don't be rude.
As she starts to put plates of food down in front of you and empty plates then for you to share, or for you to plate up your own food from the main plates in the middle, I want everyone who cares to roll a perception check.
Oh yeah. Crap. Can Ori roll one?
Oh,
God,
yeah, I suppose she would.
7.
And you know who else would roll one? Is Worm.
Yeah, is Worm back?
Yeah, I thought he came back last night, or do I need to resummon him?
You need to click your fingers because you didn't kill him.
Oh yeah, okay. In which case, yes, I did that.
Cool. Okay. So click your fingers.
Worm. Arsehole.
Shh,
I
you
didn't
don't
do
know.
anything. I hope that was directed at your boyfriend.
It was directed at my boyfriend.
Good. And in which case, I heartily agree.
it was
Oriana rolled a 21. It was a natural 20.
I thought I rolled a 4, but I misread my own dice and it was a 14, so I actually rolled 17 on perception.
Okay.
And,
I rolled 7.
And Worm got a 19.
Okay.
Worm is invisible. No one can see Worm. Invisible spider on my shoulder inside my robe.
Dice and Oriana then.
Yeah.
What you notice on the table right now is bacon, eggs, some potato fritters or pancakes that are made with love and a great deal of care and experience.
I
However,
thought you were going to say a great deal of butter. I really did.
however, there is very little there. There is barely enough to feed more than the 4 of you. Definitely not enough to feed her and her husband and her grandchild. However, as you look at her face as well, Oriana and Dice only, I'd like you to make an insight check.
Okay. Yeah, insight sucks for me, but 14?
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oriana also didn't do particularly well. 11.
Okay. Dice then. Oriana, you notice the woman, she's just beaming down at you, imploring you to eat. Dice, the woman looks worried.
Worried?
Maybe a
Because she's
bit
going to poison us.
maybe a bit guilty, but also kind of embarrassed. She looks like she's very much hoping that you greatly enjoy the food and do not mention the fact that there's not enough of it.
Oh, Rich, why do you do this to me? No, I don't want to make the lady sad, but I also don't want to eat all her food.
Entirely up to you.
Would it help you to know that she's not actually real?
No, not at all. Not me in the slightest. No.
Okay.
Too empathic for that.
I'm
It's a Taurus thing.
I'm a Taurus. We're all Tauruses apart from Rich.
And
Yeah,
Charlie.
that's true.
I know,
Charlie's a Taurus.
Oh my
She was born the same day as you, motherfucker. The literal exact same day.
That was a special moment from you.
It was. I've had painkillers today. It's not
So,
good.
do you eat?
Um,
But it has nothing to do with the fact that there's no
Well,
food.
Well, Ace is, because Ace didn't notice that there's not enough.
Okay. So Ace starts tucking in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at the lady and go, I'm not exceptionally hungry, actually. Perhaps you could have my share. I need to go and get things ready to leave for when my friend returns. So I feel like I need to hurry.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, good. I'm really good at those. Oh, gosh. Oh, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, if the spread's not good enough for you, I could put something else on.
No,
I'm
no,
sure
no.
I've got something in the back of the cupboards there.
No.
And she looks heartbroken.
Yeah, can Sepsis roll an insight check to see if they also realised that Dice was
Yeah.
talking shit?
go for it.
Oh, you don't need to roll an insight check. It's a very bad.
Yeah, I rolled 7, so
Yeah.
that's good enough. Dice, if your stomach condition is playing up again, would you be more comfortable having some of the mushrooms I keep?
Actually, Sepsis, that would be fantastic. You see, it's nothing to do with the food. I have a problem. Thank you, Sepsis.
And I give Dice some of my pocket mushrooms and watch very intently to see if she eats them.
I absolutely eat the pocket.
Sepsis.
Yeah.
Sepsis. Okay,
Yes?
first of all, Sepsis, roll a deception check.
Hey, I'm fucking myself, but I'm guessing that should be a disadvantage since I'm trying to compound a lie that already failed.
Because they were then helping you, because because Dice immediately jumped on the lie, I'll give it to you as a straight roll.
Okay, thank you. That's very kind. How's the 26 feel for you?
The woman.
What's her insight score?
She's. Well, it's not gonna help adding it to a 2. I'll be honest. Her face immediately softens towards you, Dice. Oh, I'm sorry, my love. Would you like some water? Would you like some hot water? Make some tea out of those mushrooms.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Well, all right. I'll put the kettle on for you now.
Thank you.
Took me ages to try those mushrooms, and you're going to go and rehydrate them. That's so
As
weird.
she's walking away, I'm going to go, Sepsis, is this going to poison me?
No.
Just checking.
Wait, are you not? I assumed that the reason you weren't eating the food is because you also assume that it is poison.
No.
Ace just like,
I'm not eating the food because there is not enough for the family to eat. There is very little here.
hearing
Sepsis
that,
looks
Ace
at
just
the-
drops the fork. Just like, oh.
Ace, if you try and argue, she's going to be devastated. Eat the food.
Sepsis looks at what to them is a ludicrous amount of food, and is like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and you're very strange.
Yeah.
And then continues to munch on dehydrated mushrooms.
Ace takes like much smaller bites now of the food, like making it last longer so that maybe she'll think that I'm full.
She comes back then with the baby cradled in one arm instead of on her hip, and he seems to be nodding off.
Aww.
And then she just kind of plunks a steaming hot cup of water down in front of you.
Thank you. That's really kind. And I promptly make awful, I would imagine, mushroom tea.
Okay.
What's wrong with my mushrooms?
I just have to assume that if
I have to roll a lot of nature checks to get these mushrooms.
it's been in Sepsis's pocket for a month, it can't be good.
Are you going
dried mushrooms.
to drink it?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I didn't give her those mushrooms.
What mushrooms did you give it? Just regular?
Just like regular mushrooms that I found and dried, yeah.
Absolutely certain?
Yeah, Sepsis would know.
Okay, alright.
Do you want me to roll an alchemy check?
No, it's fine. You don't have to roll a Constitution saving throw. That's
Even
fine.
if I had, just so you know, the answer was 23, so it didn't.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, will that fine young man who came with you last night be joining us for breakfast like he said he would?
I don't know if he'll be joining us for breakfast. I'm hoping to catch him outside. I think what he wants to discuss might be sensitive in nature.
Catch him outside, how about that?
Don't. Don't be that person.
Well, all
I
right.
can't not be.
My husband, I know, probably didn't offer you fair wage for your work last night, so I've put a little bit of a pouch together from our rainy day savings, and I just want you to accept this with my goodwill. And she puts a very small pouch, which clinks with a few coins inside. That's for your trouble in getting my husband home safe.
You know, it's funny. He really didn't need to pay us at all. We needed to come here. We were going this way anyway.
It was a big favour to us.
It was a huge favour. We managed to travel on a cart. It saved us time.
I was badly wounded yesterday, and riding in the cart was a huge relief.
I'm sure you were, my love. I'm sure you were. You must be harrowed by your experience.
Yet I've checked today, and it doesn't appear to have become infected. Thank you for the bandages.
The gods bless you and keep you, my love. I'm glad of that.
Thank you. I'm sure that they will.
I've seen limbs lost for smaller afflictions than the one you suffered from.
Gangrene is a very serious risk. This is a medieval setting, so antibiotics haven't been invented yet.
There could be.
Just looking over at Dice, like quietly seething.
I'm also looking at Ace and thinking, how the fuck do we get out of this one? Because I don't want to take her money.
Well, if you help my husband by doing him a favour.
Perhaps we should
help you by doing you a favour and getting you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and giving us breakfast too.
Or perhaps, in payment, in the future, if you ever come by this way again, you look for us, and you'll always have a nice warm roof over your head.
That would be.
How's that sound?
That would be wonderful.
Thank you. I would prefer that.
Well, all right. And she takes the pouch back off the table and puts it back in her pocket.
I breathe almost visible, like.
Will you be carrying on then with your journey today?
Yes, we've got to go into Brigkaskau.
Well, it's not. If you want to go to the town centre, it's only maybe 20 minutes walk from here.
It's not very far at all.
I think we'll make our way into the city centre. I just want to see if I can catch up with my...
Oh, I wouldn't call it a city. Some ones who live in the centre might, but I wouldn't call it a city, no.
What would you call a city?
Oh, there's much bigger than this. When I was a little girl, when I was a wee lass, I saw buildings that touched the skies in rows and rows.
Where did you see this?
There was a town where if you started walking at one end, you wouldn't get to the other by nightfall.
It's a very large city.
Off to the east.
You're more well-travelled than I anticipated.
My father was a trader like his father before him, and like the man I married and his father before him and all.
I see.
So we spent my childhood in Londinium until he was hanged.
You haven't had the best luck.
Ace is just like mildly horrified.
Well, no, it's been quite a good life. I mean, we were lucky. He didn't hang me. They didn't hang me as well.
That is lucky, I would agree.
What was his crime?
Not paying random road tax.
He didn't pay a bribe.
No, random road tax. It's quite well known in these parts that if elves cross you on the road, they're allowed to ask for a random road tax. And if you don't pay, you got to pay with your life. Unfortunately, my father, a bit of gambler, lost all of his random road tax savings money in Londinium the night before. So when we were on our way back, unfortunately, we got waylaid by some elven random road tax collectors, and well, you know the end of that story.
I'm glad they did.
Sepsis just leans over to Ace and is like, "That sounds really made up."
Yeah, can I roll an insight check against that, actually?
Absolutely.
Thank you. A random road tax. I love it. Oh, good. It's not awful. That's a nice change. 16.
She is absolutely wholeheartedly telling the truth.
She.
Yeah. Every single word of what she just said rings of the purest truth to you. No embellishment whatsoever.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you survived that.
I mean, it was hard for, an 8-year-old on my own to get a cart and 2 horses all the way back to Briscoe. Took me best part of 3 weeks, but I was stronger for it in the end.
It's a great journey that you did.
Quite a feat of navigation for an 8-year-old.
Well, to be fair, the horses knew their way. They'd made the trek a couple of times. I just had to, keep them going.
Glad you weren't stumbled upon by more random road tax collectors.
Aye, but to be fair, I'm quite a small target. I was, anyway. Bit bigger now. And she chuckles and, bustles off. And she's a very large woman.
I look at Ace and go, this lady makes me sad.
How's the tea?
So much.
The tea is surprisingly okay. Thank you. It's good. I like the chunky
Waste
bit.
of good dried mushrooms, but you do you, I guess.
Look, I was trying to come up with something she could help with. She seemed like she wanted to help.
She comes back in after a couple of minutes from the back garden and walks up to you with a small pack. I've been baking hard road bread for a while now, and I was just wondering if you wanted some for your journey. It's sweetened. It's not the savoury type, so it's sweetened. Goes nice with some butter of the morning.
Richard, are you trying to traumatize me here? I don't want to take anything off this woman, and you keep offering things. Very stressful.
She's a kind soul. It's in her nature.
I know.
And
No,
as-
pass, thank you, I don't
as-
eat bread.
As she puts the pack down in front of you, Dice, she puts one hand on yours and then her other hand on her wrist brace. You've got to stick together. I find. Don't let the bastards get you down.
Thank you. You're
Very
right.
true.
We are perhaps a little
Thank
more
you.
fortunate than most in that we get to go adventuring and travelling.
Of course, you're much wilder over there on the side of the bridge. I've heard about you lot over there with your collars.
Well, the collar does seem more comfortable. What does the bracelet do? I've not encountered one before, and I'm curious.
I mean, it's very similar to the one what you got around your neck, but if you wanted to become, I suppose, a citizen of Albion instead of Cimbria, you'd effectively have to take one of these, I suppose.
But it has abilities that the collar is just a metal ring. It doesn't.
Oh,
It can hurt.
Oh, if we do wrong.
By whose standard? I don't want to take more than is easy for you to give. I can see that a lot of people have it more difficult than we do. We are fortunate that we are okay for food and for drink, and I don't want to leave you wanting.
Oh, please take the bread. Take the bread. My husband's got a problem with sugar anyway, and I seem to have used a little bit too much. So take the bread. You'll be doing him a favour, and go with my blessings.
Thank you. You're very kind. And
And you lot are very young and sweet, and I want you to do well out there in the world.
I look at Ace and say, I'm sweet.
yes,
You
I am
are-
very
you are.
sweet.
Yes, I am very sweet.
Ace is going to sort of stand from the table and say thank you very much for the breakfast. I'm just going to collect some things from your bedroom, if that's okay.
That's all right. A word though, and she whispers in Ace's ear.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to try and listen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Absolutely, I want to try and listen. That is going to be a natural 23.
You might want to look after that one in the robes over there. He seems a little bit frail.
They
Not really made for life on the road.
they do okay for themselves.
Well, all right, but I keep an eye on him.
I will.
He seems like, a gust of wind might knock him down and the world would be ending. Oh, woe is me.
I'll be sure to keep a good eye on them.
And all right. And she pats you on the arm and totters back off into the kitchen.
Can I just follow her?
Ace is going. Sorry. Ace is going to go up to the bedroom, collect together their bag, and hide a piece of gold in the room.
Okay.
I'm going to put it like somewhere that wouldn't be super obvious, but somewhere she would clean.
Okay, cool.
Like on the mantle type thing, because it's a really clean house.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll let you do that. That's fine. And you don't have to roll to try and hide it.
I'm just getting rid of the gold piece from my inventory.
That's cool. Dice?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow her very quickly and go, you destroyed a very nice dress to help my friend, and between you and me, they can be a little dramatic, and I say it very quietly so Sepsis can't hear. I would like to reimburse you the cost of the dress, if I may.
That's fine, it's only a dress.
It was a nice dress, though.
But if you can spare it, the copper, it would do well to get another, I suppose, couple of loads of clothes for the little ones.
Well, how about this? And I give her a silver, not anything more than that, because I don't want to upset or embarrass her. So I give her a silver and go, I have this that I am happy to give, and hopefully it will get some nice outfits for the children. I would love that.
Well, it's this little one's birthday today anyway, so I'll accept this as the gift as it was given, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. As I'm walking out, I just think to myself, take all my money. And I sort of give up on trying to give her anything else, and I go, thank you so much for the kindness and care you've shown. It is truly exceptional hospitality.
Right, how old is the child whose birthday it is?
Looking at the size on her, quite small, very skinny, but happy enough. Healthy cheeks. She looks to be about 1.
I see.
Why?
I'm just trying to decide whether I should do something very silly. You're all looking at me like I'm going to do something horrible to this child, but it's not that at all.
Honestly, there's a 50-50 shot with Sepsis at any given time. Shaky, weirdly kind.
Okay. So Sepsis is going to just step from the table over and speak directly to the child and say, "Hey, because it's your birthday, would you like to play Monster?"
This is the creepiest thing.
The child kind of looks at the rags and seems confused as to what you're asking.
I make my hands glow but kind of sparkly instead of the usual sickly green.
Okay.
I say, "Do you want to play being a monster?"
And the child just starts nodding because it sees sparkly energy and just starts nodding and smiling and happiness.
I cast Enlarge on the child.
You cast what on the child?
Enlarge on the child.
I think I blew up the kids, but Bristolian.
Okay, can you?
It doubles
Can
the size.
you? Yeah, can you read the enlarged spell for me
So-
and other people who don't really know? Or
So
aren't
it
familiar
can
with
make a
this?
Constitution saving throw, but it can choose to fail the Constitution saving throw if it's willing.
Fucking baby.
Its constitution is minus
So
5.
the target size doubles in all dimensions and its weight is multiplied by 8. This growth increases its size by 1 category from medium to large, for example. If there isn't
This
enough room
child
for the
isn't going
target
to
to
fit in
double.
the house.
No, it's only twice the size of a 1-year-old. I just think it would be funny.
But 8 times the weight.
The target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target's weapons also grow to match its new size.
Okay.
And the target's attacks with them deal an extra 1d4 damage.
I'm kind of desperate to see what happens.
As the spell is cast, the grandma, startled by the shift in weight in her arms, almost drops the child, but just manages to catch it. But you can hear the exertion, in her breath as it leaves her. the flash of light that comes from your hands dims, and what once was a small, frail but happy 1-year-old is now almost as big as Sepsis, and is kind of just standing there tottering, still holding on to one arm, onto the skirts of his grandma or great-grandma, just kind of looking at Sepsis and like looking at his grandma, confused that she doesn't seem as far away as 5 seconds ago. The grandma looks confused, happy, terrified, all at once.
Yeah, the emotion Sepsis normally inspires.
How long's this spell gonna last?
Only a minute. Sepsis goes
all
to the child and goes, "Rah!"
And the child goes, "Rah!" and hits Sepsis.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
I'm going to die. Roll an attack.
I don't want to.
At this point, Ace is just entering this chaos and sees the child strike.
That's going to be a 19.
Yeah, it hits.
But minus... well, its strength did increase.
Still hits.
Yeah, it's going to hit. So, the child hits you. Its strength score is nothing, so it's 1. However, because of the enlarge, it now gets to add
Yeah, I know, you get
what?
an extra D4, you're being a prick. Go ahead.
I'm not being a prick.
You're using my own D4 against me. How dare you?
You chose this. You brought this upon yourself.
You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
I
from
collapse to the ground.
Giant baby. And it chuckles to itself as it's knocked you over.
Yes, I crumple to the ground instantly in a small puddle.
Ace is just gonna stand at the door and like just sort of cross their arms and be like, "Well."
Sepsis is going to crawl away from the child and from the woman and her monster child, and just be like, "Mean right hook on that baby."
I think, my love, you might deserve that.
We were playing monster.
Yes,
I know, but my great grandson's quite good playing monster.
Oh, it would seem.
Got a hell of a punch on him already, anyway.
Yes, I've noticed.
Hey, Sepsis, the baby beat you at Monster.
Yes. I mean, obviously, I let it win
Yeah,
because it's its birthday.
Ace is helping Sepsis up off the floor, being like, "Of course you did."
You hear a child crying behind you, and as you all turn, you see that the baby has returned to its normal size.
Aww.
That was fun.
Did you enjoy that too?
Perhaps you might want to be thinking about making your way now.
Thank you.
Thank you
That's
so
all
much
right.
for having us.
Please leave everything else exactly as you found it when you came.
I
Of
promise
course.
you won't change the size of anything else on the way out. That being said,
Ace is going to bundle up Sepsis and carry them out because obviously they're traumatized.
I think you may have to carry me for the remainder of the day. I am extremely hurt.
would you like to ride Cedric?
No,
Oh, you're not like that then.
I just don't want to be hurt even more.
But Cedric can easily carry you, and poor Ace is going to struggle. As we leave, I sort of wink at the lady and wave and close the door.
She nods jovially towards you.
I
You
sort
make your way into the street.
yeah, I'm trying to see if I can spot Clint.
Taking it in now in the daytime, this street runs it's quite straight, even though the buildings are very close together to the point where the second story of some of them seem to be falling in on each other, leaving a very thin sliver of light above you. And it runs for quite a fair distance, off into the distance until the houses get too close for you to be able to discern a passage or way through them.
I'm like working my jaw back into place as we go, and I'm just like, and all I'm saying is that baby has at least a level or 2 in barbarian.
I'm sure they do, Sepsis. And I'm at this point, I've sort of like lowered you down to the floor so you can walk.
I don't. I lie on the floor.
You just lie there.
I just lie there, like
Oh, he's just sort of
like that
staring
kid
at
from
you.
the Vine. I'm gonna take a nap.
I get Cedric to come and like nose towards you and
Ah! I scramble away into a. Is there a bush nearby?
There's not a bush. It's a very you're in the what are effectively the suburbs now of
Is there a midden pile?
quite run downtown. There is.
I scramble away behind a midden pile.
Okay.
Steph says you'd prefer that to the dog?
Yes, the midden pile didn't come from hell.
There are many people in the street now watching you have this conversation as they pass, all heading further into the town or city, not out.
Yeah, I sort of blink in confusion and then put my hood up and just start walking in towards the city.
Your demon dog is making us conspicuous.
You're making us conspicuous.
What on earth could be conspicuous about what I'm doing?
You're flopping around like someone severed your legs.
The baby nearly knocked my head off.
The baby gave you a solid punch.
Do you not have any herbs that you could take to?
I think I may be concussed.
God, I
Oh.
hope so.
How are you going to look for Clint?
Using my eyeball.
I find those are one of the more effective organs for that.
What? Sorry, what I meant was, in what way are you going to try and track him down?
I assumed as he was coming over in the morning, he may actually be nearby, so I'm going to search sort of hidey places around near where the house is.
Sorry. Roll me a investigation check, then, please.
Right. Ha ha ha. Yep, that's a 24.
24. Okay.
My second nat 20 on the same dice.
Nice.
As you go, then, many of these houses are connected in long terraces of maybe 6 or 7. There are through roads, alleyways between some of them, branching off to your left and your right. As you make your way slowly further into town in the direction that you believe the Clint was coming from, you search for a good half an hour, looking at every nook and cranny you could think you would normally hide away. You do not find him.
Okay. That seems weird. Did Clint say where he was staying? He said he was going to meet people. What sort of time is it now? Is it at the point... I'm asking Oriana, I guess.
Oriana looks at her watch. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning. You
Maybe we're
rose.
in
You rose at about 6:30.
Do we want to wait an hour and see if Clint shows? He was intending to be here for breakfast. He's not here.
He's not usually late.
He was going to investigate the place out to the east. Or northeast now, I guess.
You do remember that he said he was going to come and see you before he did.
Yeah.
And did he
Maybe
say
he got himself
where he would be
arrested.
last
He is a
night before
criminal.
he did?
Sorry, Ace?
Did he say where he was going to be last night before he went to investigate?
I can't remember. Rich, did he?
He said he was going to meet his contacts. He did not say where.
Mm.
We can try and find a thief. Does anyone here speak Undercommon? Like, does anyone...
Yes, in fact.
Not, I don't mean Undercommon. I mean,
Oh,
does
well.
anyone know what's it
Thieves
called?
can't.
Thieves can.
I can only answer the question that you asked me. No, yeah, I speak Undercommon, but I certainly don't do Thieves' Cant.
No, I don't do thieves' cant either. Does Ori?
Nah, she won't. She's not a criminal.
I thought she took some level in rogue.
No, Bard.
Bard.
She does miss being a rogue, but she didn't.
Yeah, she certainly does.
We can... I don't even know where we would begin to try and find him. We can give it another hour and see if he shows.
We could check whether he's been picked up by the local law enforcement.
Not a bad suggestion.
Hmm.
And also not entirely unlikely either.
I suppose you could go under the sort of ruse that you're looking for work there with the sheriff, like
Yeah.
we did in town.
If we go as, our normal alternative people form.
Mm-hmm.
I could, if
Certainly
I was,
go as ourselves to the police.
if I was Hugin again, I could claim that I borrowed him from another mercenary band. That would explain why I don't have his papers.
That's true.
And also, no one really cares what happens to humans. So an extra human minus a human, who gives a shit?
Indeed.
All right, let's. Do we want to wait a little bit beforehand and see if he shows up, or do we want to just assume if he was coming, he'd be here?
I think the longer we stay in one place, we're going to look conspicuous.
Yeah, particularly standing outside. Two humans watching a ball of rags roll around it behind the midden pile.
Fine, I'll get out of the midden pile.
Thank you. Not at all conspicuous.
Says the woman with a metal dog.
It's not my metal dog, it's Ori's.
Yes, and Oriana is not at all conspicuous. Metal dog or no.
You're right, I think we should change what we look like at this point. I'm going to cast Disguise Self. Well, facing, like, I'm going to put my cloak up and just cast it facing a wall and change myself to black hair and, like, Judith, my usual alternative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ace is going to don the hat and go about the same sort of thing.
Okay.
Being inconspicuous.
Or as inconspicuous as we ever are.
I mean, obviously, services will be Hugin and what's Ariana's? Yeah,
Hugin.
there we go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I know who she is. I'm just checking how many spell slots she has because I need to keep track of them, and I can't do it on D&D Beyond.
So you are different-looking humans now, and a Duergar and a halfling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So, do you make your way further into town?
Making our way downtown.
Yeah,
And
we're
you-
The sheriff's office.
You're looking
or
for a
police
local
office.
sheriff's office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So roll me an investigation check. Either one of you or best investigation rolls with advantage if you all do it.
well, I have plus
What
4
is my-
mine, so
Mine's like 0, so yeah, you go ahead and I'll assist.
thanks. Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. It is a 23.
23.
Two 20s and a 19. I normally roll for shit.
Okay. After a little bit of asking around, mostly done by Oriana and Sepsis, but after they don't really get anywhere, they seem to be scaring the local populace, which is mainly human in demographic. You find a quite talkative human who does, looking at you quite confusedly as to why you're willingly going anywhere near the sheriff's office, gives you what you think are quite accurate, truthful directions. It takes you another half an hour, passing through what you think may be a warehouse district, before you get to the outskirts of what looks like a tavern, hotel, shopping centre. And in doing so, you do find the most local sheriff's office. That does not seem like it would be... It looks like a prison. It doesn't look like it would effectively help the human suburb that you've just passed through, but it looks like it may be full of many of the denizens of the human suburb you've recently passed through.
I find myself unsurprised. Okay, I go, Hugin, you're up.
As you get to the outside of it, it is a solid grey stone structure, actually quite jarringly different to all of the soft either limestone or baked brick buildings you see around it. Directly outside, you see a large crowd of elven guards, all standing around what appears to be, from this distance, a bronze statue, but you can't really make out any more detail. And they seem to be blocking the steps into the sheriff's office, but they're not looking towards you. They're all looking, or all seem to be congregated around and looking at the bronze statue. And they're all talking very animatedly in quite loud voices.
What are they saying?
They're all talking in Elvish, So
Okay,
who of you is fluent?
Ariana.
Ari, yeah.
Ori, okay. So do you want to roll a perception check for me for Oriana so she can try and discern different
Up to,
veins
boss.
different veins of the conversation in the hubbub?
It's gonna be 7.
7. They're all talking over each other. You do hear, or you get like a few snippets of the Elvish for replacement. Where, what are we going to get paid for now? Early retirement is said by a couple of them. But you can't really, you don't get the general gist of what the conversation is about or what they're all shouting about.
I turn to Sepsis and go, Hugin, we have to find out what's going on. Right?
Do we?
Yeah.
Why?
Professional curiosity. Come on. And I start sort of walking, but trying to look like I'm walking.
I'll sort of approach the group of elven guards as my Durgar mercenary guys.
As you approach the group, it does seem like the higher the rank, the further into the circle of the crowd they are. All of the elves on the outskirts seem to be privates or the lowest rank.
I'll put like a sort of confident swagger on, hook my thumbs through my belt loops, just like stroll up to some guard and say, "Pardonnez-moi, mon ami, I would like to enter the sheriff's office here, and is there any way that we could be allowed through your congregation?"
And one of the elves turns around to you, and he's a lowly private, and just kind of looks at you. And why today are you trying to approach the guard office?
I have misplaced one of my human meat shields, and I'm hoping to track him down. I wondered if he might have been picked up for some sort of ne'er-do-wellery.
Well, I do not know of any prisoners that were picked up last night, but I am only coming on shift this morning. You may, once all this has died down and the excitement has passed, you may, I suppose, enter. I do not recommend pushing through. I will give you that recommendation as you've been polite. If your pronunciation is a little strange.
Merci beaucoup. And may I say, sir, you are a fine set of privates.
I just felt like we thought.
I will take that as the compliment I'm sure you tried to make. Excuse my colleagues and I and the unprofessional nature in which we conduct ourselves this morning. There is some new excitement sent over for the continent. Most of these were supposed to stay in our great city of Londinium, but some have found their way further afield. I believe our old captain has quite a lot of money. And once all of the hubbub has died down, I'm sure in a few minutes you'll be allowed to make your way through.
Might I inquire, Monsieur, as to what the news creating such a stir might be?
Well, yes, of course. It's the. I am sorry. And he glances you up and down, and then looks over his shoulder, making a show that he's basically apologizing for not taking into account the fact that you're quite short and can't see over their heads. Yes, I don't know whether your companions noticed as you approached, but there is one of those new metal men from the continent sent over. They're replacing all of the guards over there, apparently. And soon, I believe, they will send a lot more over to this fine island.
Ah, one of those old hommes de guerre, I hear.
What?
De guerre,
Yes.
guerre is French for war. I wasn't wrong. I was right there.
You are.
Yes. Yes. You have heard of them then. Yes, the gnomes that the Empire has in their employ, at least I'm assuming it's the gnomes, have stepped up in production, and now they have enough to send a bit further afield.
Well, I'm sure we will all feel much safer with a large bronze fellow looking out for our well-being.
Right. I should be getting on with my shift. It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Hugin, of Hugin and Munin Muscle for Hire, sir. Please do consider us if you have any need of mercenary services.
Are you local?
We are wanderers, but we're here at the moment.
I will, if you're in town, remember your names. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup and au revoir.
Au revoir. And he nods stiffly and walks away a bit quicker than you'd normally have someone. Like, it's not a casual walk. If he was going slightly faster, he'd be jogging.
My next character is going to speak like this all the time. That's going to be their natural voice.
The next time we can do this in person, I'm going to stab you with a fork. Oh, you laugh now.
I'm
Right.
sure I won't take more damage than Sepsis did getting punched by a baby. So it's,
A large baby.
the baby did more damage, you realise, than the spear that you stabbed me
Yeah.
with the previous.
Absolutely
I
did.
do.
Yeah, absolutely did. Okay. As he starts to move away, a lot of the elves do seem to be taking the same stance. They want to get on with the rest of their day. And the crowd does start to disperse. As it does so, there you see, flanked by two sergeants, is a captain of the Elven Town Guard. You can recognize the rank by now. You've schmoozed with a couple of them. And he seems to be polishing the breast of the bronze statue. However, now that it's easy to see, this statue is about 7.5 feet tall. It's about 5 feet wide. It is not entirely made of bronze. You can see that there are pistils. There is corded wire running between the joints. The joints seem to be capable of movement. And as he polishes and just begins to finish, he does then swipe his hand over a large, what seems to be crystal, embedded in the front. The crystal is familiar to you.
Sort of greenish, icky looking.
It's a very familiar crystal. You've had very close contact with it before. Sepsis, in fact, is still carrying one. However, when the crystal is touched, the green turns to a sickly, deep red.
Does it by any chance
And begins to
match the
glow.
eyes of the ones I saw in my dream?
It does.
Weird.
You see it start to move, and it seems to shrug, and like a strong man who would wake from a bed starts to roll its shoulders as if it's just loosening some long, stiff muscles. And it lifts one almighty foot, and bringing its arms back in, it crashes it down. And even at this distance of 20 feet away, you can feel the ground shaking beneath your feet.
In case
Yells
you're
standing.
wondering, I rolled a 19 to try and disguise my all-consuming terror of this creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. You perform quite well. And then it stands up straight, and its head which is faceless. There do not seem to be any eyes on this one. There is only the glow of the chest crystal, but it's completely blank, smooth faceplate just turns towards the captain of the guard. Orders. And the captain of the guard in Elvish replies, and it is only one word, so easy for a lot of you to translate. Guard.
It is not.
No, it's easy as in, I'm not asking you to roll. It's easy for all of you to translate. You just translate it.
You know guard, that's fine.
It is guard. And it gets into a ready stance, puts its hand to its sides, and you can see two small compartments on its wrist open, and suddenly its hand flips out of the way, and both hands are replaced by long, large blades. With its size, they'd be considered short swords. To Sepsis, it would be considered almost a great sword.
I whisper to Dice, does that thing come from the same hell dimension as your dog?
And neither of them come from hell dimensions, but I do believe that it's been constructed in a similar fashion, not the same, but I'm very interested because its autonomous nature is fucking weird.
I would strongly discourage you from trying to study it.
I don't want to get much closer, believe me. All right. Does it look like the ones I dreamt about?
It is much larger, more built for war, less humanoid in its obscenely enlarged nature. It looks like a child's drawing of a barbarian.
Okay.
If you said to a child, draw me a barbarian robot, it's comically over large in certain aspects. The ones you saw in your dream were humanoid to the point where all they were missing was skin. All of the metal was hammered into the shape of muscles, arms. They would have been convincingly human if not for the fact that none of them had any skin.
Okay.
Think Judge Dredd War Robot, Terminator 2.
Can I get...
All right. No need to.
Funny, I was thinking more like Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
Can I try and...
Hulkbuster. Vision.
I was going to say Ultron, but...
Oh, yeah, Ultron. Hulkbuster or Ultron.
Ugh. Okay. That's not something I really want to fight. Under any circumstances, it's terrifying. Can I see any weak points on it, just for future reference, as I happen to be relatively close to this one, and I'm actually looking at it? Can I see any weak points on it that would make it easier to fight if it ever came to it? Because I am quite scared of this thing.
Okay. I would like you to make an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana check is 18.
Okay. 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The weak points on this one seem to be its joints. The metal of its construction, as you look closer at it, is glowing. So it's not just bronze, it seems to be enchanted. You do notice that most of its joints do not have the same aura or glow as the rest of it, or if they do, the magic is weaker. So its joints seem to be its weak point.
Quick question there, DM. Does the robot have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome?
Weak points its joints?
Yeah. As you were saying, the joints are weaker. I was just like...
Yes, unfortunately, the robot is suffering from electronic EDS. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Bits of it will fall off at random. Can we? Sorry, Em.
It's all right. I made the joke.
Yeah.
Can I turn to Hugin and say, Are we still going in there?
Well, do you still think it's where Clint is likely to be? Because I do.
I think it's possible.
Well,
I'm so concerned about where the fuck this came from because Zep says that's huge.
it came from hell.
No, it didn't. It's been made by a person, much like Cedric, but on a scale I've never imagined. It's huge. It's terrifying.
I think the crystal might be helping that out a little bit.
The size, sure, but the pistons and the way it moves, it would still have to be constructed to be functional. That's
The elf I talked to said it was gnomes.
Was the person in my dream, Rich, who apologized for fucking up a gnome? I can't remember. They were human, weren't they?
You don't know. You didn't really see.
Okay, I don't know at all.
They were humanoid. They were not gnome size, maybe about 6 feet tall. But again, they were covered in very similar armor to the beings that you saw. But you could tell that while everything around you was a construct, the thing that grabbed your arm and apologized was decidedly alive.
Okay, so I had the dream about, and I'm trying to look sort of subservient, looking down as though I'm not really talking.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream where there were lots and lots and lots of these, or similar, but they were smaller, they were human-sized, and a person inside something humanoid, but like that, grabbed my arm and apologized and said they'd screwed up. And I think this is what they fucked up with. Not that I'm saying dreams are prophetic or anything, but it was interesting to have that dream and then see this in real life. It has scrambled my brain a bit, so.
Yeah, dreams, in my case, usually lead to some sort of truth in the real world.
I'll be honest, it's a new experience for me.
Well, I agree that it's fucked up.
You think that you think Clint has been picked up by the law?
It seems like a fairly reasonable assumption given his criminal proclivities, and he doesn't necessarily have access to a huge network of people with crossbows in every window of apparently every square in the city here, the way that he does in Kaidid.
So the captain of the guard, he told the construct to guard. Is it allow us entry?
I mean, I presume that the guard's office isn't intended to become ornamental at this point, so they're presumably still going to be letting people in and out. I wouldn't try to rush it and take it down with your crossbow, because I suspect that might interpret that as aggression.
Do you think?
As you're talking about this, you do see a couple of people walk past, trying not to stare at it, and just comfortably walk up the stairs. They don't seem to be guards; they're just locals who are walking into the sheriff's office.
I think we can go in.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, we will walk up the stairs, taking as wide a berth around this thing as possible without looking unnatural.
I'm still trying to get a real good look at this thing as we go past, as we're closer.
Right.
How it's built, how it was put together, why it was put together, to see if I can figure out anything else about it.
Are you trying to do this inconspicuously?
Yeah, I've got my hood up as well, so I'm quite stealthy.
So roll me a stealth check.
A stealth check in plain sight, walking past it. Yeah. It's a weird type of stealth check. Oh, I get advantage. Hang on. I basically just rolled one dice straight on top of another one and lost both my numbers. Right, that is stealthy. Do I get advantage on this even with, I know I've got the cloak, but okay, cool. 18.
18. Okay, now roll an Arcana check.
Arcana check is not advantage, but it is with a lot of pluses. That's going to be 17.
And what you see is, as you get closer, the source of the energy that seems to be infusing him is definitely the crystal.
Yeah.
You've felt it before, this kind of energy, It's strange. A lot of the time, sepsis seems to exude it, but not in this quantity or in this profane way. But the energy surrounding it is necrotic.
Okay.
In the same way, in fact, that the bodies in the mine, the hands that attacked you on the train.
Oh, shit's fucked up.
There's nothing alive inside this. There is no part of it that you can see that could be filled by flesh. It is completely a construct of metal. However, it seems to potentially be powered by a soul.
Oh, that's not nice. Also, I have a book that did that, and it was really dark. Okay, I don't say anything. I just keep that to myself and walk past it, trying not to look at it and feeling kind of freaked out and squeaky.
Ace is blissfully unaware.
Yeah, for now.
Continues along.
As you make your way then into the sheriff's office, it's a lot smaller and less grand than ones you are used to. This seems to be just a district office and not the main one of the entire city. The entrance room or the reception is quite small. There is 2 benches, one left, one right. They're already filling up with people as you enter. And there is a desk maybe 10 feet opposite you with one small human girl, now currently not acting in a subservient way at all. In fact, she's acting quite confident, quite bolshy, and is talking to the desk sergeant, who looks to be sitting there wishing he were anywhere else. And as you walk in, you can very loudly hear her say, "Come on now, my love. He's done this quite regular. You know we're good for it. We've not got the money now, but he drinks all the time. He'll be fine if you let him out. We'll be back in a week, and we'll pay off anything that's due with interest." And the elven guard just kind of, without looking at her, goes, "It is his 3rd strike this month. Unless you have bail for him, he will be sent to the work camps in the north." "Well, I spent all my money on bail last time. I've not got the money for it this time, is there?" And she kind of leans over, and it is only now you see her kind of pull her rags or ragged clothing in around her, showing off her figure, as she kind of tries to lean over the desk towards him. "Is there not any other way I could secure my brother's freedom?"
Oriana whistles.
And she gets... Does Oriana actually whistle?
Wolf whistles, yeah.
Yeah, that seems likely. Yep.
Both the girl and the guard turn around. The guard looks to be suppressing a chuckle. The girl, however, as she turns, her face immediately drops from sultry and seductive to stony and calculating. And as she turns back, you can see the smile forming even as her face turns back to the guard. "Sorry about that. Unless you like an audience, I could invite her."
I bear in mind that Oriana does look like a half orc at the moment.
Yeah.
And he's kind of standing as he sits there. "Look, it has been a slow week. We have one person in our cells. That is your brother. I would rather have no one in the cells and go home early tonight. If you can give half of the bail over, we will free him. But if he comes in again, no bail, straight to the work camps. All right?" And she kind of, "I'll see what I can do." And turns away and walks back towards the door. And you are all kind of in her way.
Sepsis will bow deeply and step to the side to allow her to pass.
But you just bowed to a human?
Yeah, like in a courteous way.
Okay. She walks past, bumping into a couple of you as she goes. Sorry, my lord.
Did I see her expression?
Do I notice that she's tried to
Yeah.
steal anything off of us whilst doing that?
I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
Who
Ace.
did she bump into? Who needs to roll it?
That's really important.
She bumped into Oriana, Ace, and Dice.
Okay, that's 17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
This time my perceptions let me down. It's a 10. But can I roll it for Cedric because he's
It's
there?
11 for Ariana.
Rich, can I roll it for Cedric?
Okay. I mean, yeah, but she doesn't bump into Cedric.
No, but he watches me, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
His was 22, mine was 10.
Okay. Bumping into Ace first, then. You don't really notice her hands come anywhere near you. Bumping into Oriana next. Her hands do come near Oriana, and she kind of maybe it was an accident, but maybe she willingly kind of stroked the back of her hand as she walked and looked Ariana in the eyes as she did so. And she bumps into Dice, does the same thing. Cedric, however, does let out a bark as she bumps into Dice. And she freezes with Cedric in the way, kind of growling at her.
I guess Hugin will turn around and say, "Oh dear, it appears that our dog doesn't like you." Now, why possibly could that be?
Perhaps I should give these leather pouches back very quickly then, shouldn't I?
Oh, might be a good idea, my darling.
And she turns, and from under her rags, you see her take Ace's, Oriana, and Dice's money pouches.
I take it,
Return them.
take it and go, "You're quick?"
Not quick enough to get my brother out of prison, unfortunately. I will be on my way.
Actually, I had some questions about that. Come with me. And I just walk out with the lady, and I sort of gesture that I'll be back, and I walk out with her. I want to talk to her.
Anyone going with?
I'm going to be sticking with Hugin Munin.
Yeah, so
Well, one of us should go with Dice. We can't leave unattended humans wandering around.
you also can't leave.
I'm also a human.
Yeah.
Munin will go with Dice.
Okay, that's
Hugin.
Oriana, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Ariana.
Okay. So as you step outside then, she's like, I hope you have the coin for this conversation.
Actually, I had a question for you. Your brother, is he actually your brother?
Yes, 2 years younger than me. I've looked after him most of my life. Why'd you ask?
Can I roll an insight check against that? I just want to check that she's actually trying to get her brother out of prison.
Yeah.
Thanks. I suspect, were Charlie here, she would also do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because that's just...
And she would roll a 20.
I rolled
Nice.
13.
Okay.
That's why it's always good to have two people, so if one fucks it, the other one can help.
The first thing that Oriana picks up on, same as Dice in fact, is that she's telling the truth. It is her brother that she's trying to secure from prison. However, Oriana also picks up on the fact that she is very worried. Her mention of speed earlier to try and get her brother out, she's incredibly worried about something. She needs her brother now. Something has happened and she needs help.
Ariana's going to ask, how much is the bail?
You probably heard it's been halved. Bail
How much is half the bail?
Normally set currently at 20 gold. For his offence anyway, it was only drunk and disorderly.
And why is it so urgent that you need him out?
We can help if you tell us the truth. Eventually.
We have a friend who was relying on us, but unfortunately my brother got arrested, so the friend has taken it upon themselves to go on without us, and I worry for their
This
safety.
friend, are they a roguish sort, perhaps from the other side of the border?
Maybe good with a crossbow?
Who are you?
Well, someone who didn't kill you for stealing their purse.
True.
Or tell the guards about it.
They are a friend of a roguish sort, and
Clint.
they are... It's not a name known to many outside of certain circles.
Did you say he's gone to the house on his own?
He's gone to the estate, yes.
Oh, shit. Okay,
We were supposed to help with the way in, but I was more worried about my brother, and Clint decided to leave me stay here and try and get him out. But unfortunately, I mean, I have the funds, but they're not here. I need to go back and get them.
Go where?
To one of my homes.
dwelling, abode. I am concerned about this, Ari. If we were told that the estate is fairly deadly and lots of people die, and Clint is very good, but
I agree.
a friend.
Ariana takes 10 gold and hands it to the girl and says, "Why don't you go and get your brother out? You can say you seduced it out of me."
Are you sure?
It's a loan.
Thank you.
Be quick,
with-
because I think
bear-
we have places to be.
Of course. Bear with me. Oh, Sergeant! Sergeant! I've met a benevolent traveller. And she walks back into the office, calling to the desk sergeant.
Hugan is inside, just sort of like awkwardly inspecting a potted plant.
I also wander back.
Yeah, interesting waxy leaves. I wonder what genus this could be, actually.
I'm going to wander back in and just tap sort of Hugan and Ace and sort of gesture to leave. And I'm going to walk out.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad
I'll
this one
follow
looks
them then.
suspicious in the slightest.
I'm trying to be subtle. I don't know how subtle I'm being, but I'm trying to be subtle. Thank God we travel a lot.
Hugan pats a pocket and says, "Oh, there's my wallet. It wasn't stolen after all. Well, let's go then."
And she walks up to the desk and plants money on it. Are you staying, or are you leaving?
I think we'll wait
We're
Wait
walking
nearby.
outside.
Okay.
Outside with us.
Cool.
And then-
So, as you begin your way outside then, I think we will leave it there and take it to a break.
Take it to the break.
Because it's almost bang on 9 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around. Those who are watching,
Sorry
thank
about
you
the
for rocking
accent.
up and being here.
Sorry.
I'm not sorry to you. I might be sorry to people listening.
Yeah, there is a reason. Sorry for any of the accents. We try our best. But yeah, so
Thanks,
little
Greg.
thing. If you want to catch up on previous episodes, the best place at the moment to go and check them out is going to be our YouTube channel. So head over to YouTube and type in Dice of the Beholder.
If
We're
you
on
manage a
there.
team,
The
you
previous
should be
28
using Monday
episodes are all currently available to watch. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, slate us, insult us, give us praise. I don't care. Just as long as the YouTube algorithm takes it on board and just engage with the things. And yeah.
Show that you've been engaged.
Yes. And also click subscribe. So like Heavyweight Gaming, we can finally get rid of the horrendous mess that is our current URL and actually change it to a private one once we get to 100 subscribers. So yeah, Dice of the Beholder on YouTube. go and check out the previous 28 episodes. Thank you, AD, for chucking in the horrendous URL. Dice of the Beholder on YouTube. Go check us out. Please remember to subscribe. And yeah, a lot of the current in-jokes they've got, the things that they laugh at for no reason, will all become clear after you watch the previous 28 episodes. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. We will be back in about 15 minutes. So stick around.
Once
Bye.
you made me a kappa. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Dice the Beholder, present the Chronicles of Nidum, session 29, which is mental. Before the break, for those rejoining us afterwards, or joining us for the first time this evening, they were walking through the town, or the outskirts of the town of Briscoe, searching for their friend Clint, who was supposed to meet them for breakfast and has not showed up. They made their way to the local sheriff's office to see if he'd been arrested. And upon discovering a strange metal man outside, a new guard sent from the continent, they entered and found a woman trying to apparently pay the bail or find a way of securing the freedom of her brother, the only person currently within the cells of the sheriff's office. So, questioning the girl, they discovered that it is not Clint she's trying to free, but actually her brother. However, she does seem to know Clint. And giving her the bail money, they are currently waiting outside for the girl to leave with, hopefully, her brother, or at least some answers. So, you all find yourselves outside, just standing off to one side against the building, loitering.
And the hell creature.
The guards paying you not really any kind of attention. However, the metal robot man who is currently standing outside is scanning very slowly, a kind of 180, and his head does seem to go just too far to a right angle. In a very kind of unnatural form. You wouldn't be surprised if it did a complete 360 at one point, but it's good enough now that it just does a 180 kind of track. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 15.
Everyone or just Dice?
Anyone who wants to.
I assume this is nothing Cedric would notice. So.
Not really.
Well, Oriana got an 18.
Okay.
And natural 1 for Worm.
Okay. And
Fine.
Ace?
A 9.
Okay. Oriana and Dice, then, you notice that after it takes a while, maybe 20 minutes, but towards the 15-minute mark, the scan of the area that the robot was doing seemed to linger every time it got into your direction. It seemed to linger and stop there for a moment. You are on its extreme left, and it seemed to be staring straight at you. There are no eyes for you to see before it again moved in its normal. With no pause at the right, it would come back and start to stare at you again.
Okay.
The interval of time would increase. However, just as you started to get really worried about it, the doors of the sheriff's office open, and the girl from before, with a emaciated, bedraggled-looking man, she's effectively dragging him down the stairs by his hair in your direction.
Okay. Hopefully while we've been stood outside, sorry, I was going to explain to Hugin and Ace what the girl had said and why we're waiting, and that perhaps Clint might be in danger and may need some help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as she drags him towards you, she kind of pushes him so he sprawls on the floor in front of you. But he very deftly kind of rolls and then stands up, swaying kind of back and forth. And then, charmed, I am sure. Sorry,
Morning.
locals, charmed, I'm sure.
May I suggest that we move? The creature behind us is paying closer, and I'm doing this with my back to it with my hood up. The creature behind us is paying more and more attention to us, and I think we should go elsewhere.
I would be very happy to get away from it.
I would very much like to take you somewhere more private, my love.
Okay.
Where are we going?
I suggest we make our way back up towards the suburbs, the way we arrived.
Well, we live further in.
Yeah, but we have places that perhaps we need to be.
Aye, but if there's places we need to be going north, not that way. Hang on,
Yes.
which way's that way?
We should make our way out of town by the least conspicuous route and then maybe start heading north.
It's kind of an open town. There's not much need for walls on this side of the Sever.
Right.
Let's just
Just lead on, but quickly.
Walk this way. And he kind of prances off in his very drunk fashion, swaying left to right to maybe 3 steps towards one side of the street.
I'm not
Also,
going to
towards
walk
the
that
other.
way.
Can I roll an insight check to see if he's actually drunk or if he's acting like a twat?
You can roll an insight check if you like.
Right, I will. I'm just checking I've got the right dice and I can't find the number 20 on it. Oh, hey, I found it. Insight would be 20 because I have nothing to add to it.
Excellent. As far as you are concerned, he is pissed as a fart. You've never seen someone so drunk, still standing.
Oriana says to the girl, "Is it going to be a problem for the mission that he's 3 sheets?"
No, he does some of his best work drunk, strangely enough.
As do I, actually.
Why is he still so drunk after being arrested last night? I would have thought he would have sobered up some in the cells.
He has.
Oh no.
Ace just sort of go,
Oh.
Um,
Clint obviously trusts you, but I have many questions here.
You can ask them all when we get back to our base. I need to pay you back the money that you gave me, and get supplies for the journey ahead.
All right.
We should get there quickly, though. And she stalks forward and grabs her brother under the arm and pulls him in much more of a straighter line than the one he was following. You continue onwards, maybe about 10 minutes in. You were dragged into an alleyway by your new friends, and
It's an overstatement.
encountering a door on the left, a small door. Instead of removing a key, the girl actually begins to turn what appear to be just random door panels on the door until eventually the door actually slides out of the way instead of opening inwards. She gestures you to enter.
I do,
Okay.
with some trepidation.
It is dark as fuck inside the room, pitch black.
Right,
and
I have dark vision. What do I see?
only Sepsis and Oriana, I believe, can see what's going on. And they notice it's quite a comfortable, if very Spartan, what appears to be dining room. There are no other doors, though, so you don't know where it's decked out to look like a dining room. But there are no other doors. You have no idea where a kitchen might be that would service this dining room. But there's a table and chairs. There's a few cupboards over in the corner and a wardrobe.
Oh, that kind of
Or a-
Spartan. I thought
or
you meant
an-
it was full of like half-naked oiled men.
Or an armoire, not a wardrobe, an armoire.
Love an armoire.
And the door is
Armoire.
closed. The door is closed behind you. As the door closes, then, with a click, 4 large banks of candles dotted around the room flare to life. But you can hear the striking of what sounds like flint on steel just before the candles catch.
Magic?
No, they're actually a contraption left behind by whoever had this place before. It just works. We don't know exactly how.
It just works. Is it an Apple product from the 90s?
Yes.
Clever.
Please sit, rest. Any questions you have while we get ready? Jack, sober up.
I have one.
Say his name was Zach. Sorry.
Jack.
Jack. Okay.
And Jack just kind of sits down. I will be fine. What was your name again? Jill, Jack. My name is Jill. Yes, sister, that's right. And who are you, beautiful, wonderful lad?
Are they actually your names? Did someone genuinely name their children Jack and Jill?
I am Jack. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack has got a massive... Jack, shut up! And Jill throws a shoe at his head, which he neglects to duck out of the way of, and it just kind of bounces off the side of his head.
This is
That
very
just
handy
matters to
for
them.
the dim lighting because they've just gone beetroot at the notion of that limerick.
Okay.
And Sepsis mutters to themselves, "Excuse me, I'm the bloody comic relief around here."
While we're talking, can I just have a quick look at those candles and see if I can work out how it works?
Oh, absolutely. Roll me an Arcana check, please.
Thanks. I will. 14.
14. It's a very simple system. You do, as you get closer to them, notice that there is what appears to be running up the side of all of the candles a steel kind of post for scratching against flint. And you do notice then that just at the top there, connected to very delicate but small, easy to maintain strings, pulleys, are flints. They each run into the wall, and you would assume, considering the flint on steel sound came just after the click of the door closing, that it is a mechanism that once the door is once again locked from the inside, they flare to life by having the flint and steel struck.
Thank you.
So I have a question, but it's not for our gracious hosts here. It's for my colleagues. South?
I would like to help Clint if he's in trouble. He's done a lot to help us.
He seems fairly capable of getting himself out of trouble.
Yeah, except that we were already warned about this place, and now he's.
Yes,
I'd
a warning
prefer
which
if
we
I knew
passed
his
on,
fate.
which I would say completes our duty to him.
I wouldn't agree.
I'm not comfortable with that, Sepsis. I want to make sure he's all right. He's a friend.
Oh, you didn't have the same attitude when that baby punched me.
I am very sorry that the baby hurt both your pride and your face.
I think it may have broken my jaw.
Would you like me to check?
No.
Would you like me to see your jaw to make a decision?
No.
Okay then. In which case, there's not a lot I can do to help you. But perhaps we could help Clint. I know it's out of our way, and I'm sorry. He is one of the few friends we have.
He's one of the few allies we have in what is a very large and alien world to us.
But he's an ally based in a city that we have left and have no intention to return to. I don't know how useful that is.
Wait a second, and I'm just going to go up and say very quietly to Sepsis, as quietly as I can. However, should we require Father's assistance in the future, it would go a long way towards generating goodwill if we rescued one of his favorites, don't you think?
No, not especially.
It certainly would. Clint is certainly one of his favorite people. And he has contacts on the continent, which we already know.
Father struck me as being more pragmatic than that.
I don't imagine that he would be. Yes?
I was going to cut in, but then I thought you're speaking quietly to Sepsis, so I wouldn't have interjected.
I'm going to go and sit back on my chair and go, look, Londinium's towards the east anyway. This is just north and east a bit before we go further east.
I thought we were preferring the way south.
What,
No,
go
our
directly
main
over the
journey
border?
is south.
We didn't want to go. Yes, but there's an option to make our way through the Was it the Underdark to the south?
Actually, there's 2 entrances. One is in Londinium and one is in the White Cliffs.
Yes, but the one in Londinium involves going into a huge city full of elves.
But apparently it's not easier to get to. We were told that, I think. Either way, it's not a significant diversion. Not really. It took us very little time to get from the village to here, and it was directly east of the village, so I can't imagine it would take us significantly longer to get there, assure ourselves that Clint is not dead, and then go south with a free conscience.
It
I
would
would
seem
much
like a
prefer
very
to
long diversion
know
if we
that he
die.
isn't.
Sorry, Ace?
I'd like to know that he isn't dead. And that we can help him.
Please, Sepsis?
Sepsis sighs deeply. Fine.
What does your large half-orc friend think?
Very hard for us to say.
I don't know, she's dissociating.
I mean, logically, Ori has a lot of fondness for Clint, so, you know.
Yeah, but she's not always keen on helping people. I can't guess what Ori would say were she
Okay.
here.
Okay.
I could go out and ask her. I don't think
No,
she's
it's-
asleep.
It's
If
fine.
she's awake, we can ask.
I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would want to go north to locate Clint.
Or at the very least, that she would maybe go along with it.
It appears that we've decided to help you, Jack and Jill.
That is very what's the word?
Maybe
Help.
Jill should do the talking.
I will shut up. Thank you, Jack. That is very kind of you. We will go north then. It is a short climb up a hill, and then we should overlook most of the estate from there. It is quite a heavily wooded area surrounding the central estate and the ruins behind it, but we may not be able to see much from there, but I'm sure that's where Clint would have gone first to get a good vantage point of the layout of the land.
At the very least, we can get a feel for whether we need to continue with you or whether you'll be fine to continue without us. It's just that Clint is a friend of ours and we would like to know, not, you know.
Of course. Then leaving Jack here, I think, is our best bet at the moment. And she takes a pouch out from one of the cupboards and counts out 10 gold for Anna.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
That means I don't have to figure out a way to deduct 10 gold from her total that I don't have access to.
I will say that, you know, nobody will be there to help next time should your brother get himself in trouble again.
No, my brother will stay here. I'm the only one who knows the way in and out and how to unlock the door. So
Very
once
wise.
we leave, he won't be getting out for a while.
Well, he'll be sober by the time you come back. I'm very unhappy.
Oh
Perhaps-
no, there's booze in these cupboards. He'll be all right for a while.
Perhaps you could teach my
Rejuvenated.
colleagues a thing or two about not sharing information which isn't necessary to share. It seems like you have a grasp on it.
Oh, I share very little of everything I know.
Well, we will share enough to make out any reasonable. You're quite trusting to take us with you. Why would you do that?
Safety in numbers. I'm pretty sure I'm faster than you.
Maybe.
I'm sure you are.
He did steal from us earlier.
If an enemy gives chase, I only have to make sure that I can outrun the slowest of you.
I like the logic.
Should we take
I sort of side-eye Sepsis at that.
Should we take a short rest at this point, as I used some of my energy earlier, making that baby big enough to wound me, and I wouldn't mind having that back before we encounter anything out there.
Are you talking in some code?
Yes.
Very, very well. I cannot discern it, but if you wish to rest,
Just 45 minutes or so.
very well.
I find I can usually go again after about that long.
Short refractory period.
Jill just kind of stony face looks at you while Jack just starts pissing himself with laughter in the corner and walks over to grab a bottle of rum.
I don't understand what was funny about that.
Your recovery time, my friend, is a thing of wonder. Cheers. And just starts drinking.
Enjoy your rum, Jack.
Oh, it's horrible, but it's all this place ever has. So, what do you do?
Sobriety?
Boring.
All right.
Yes, but it gets you arrested a lot less.
Mm.
Actually, no. He got arrested a lot more when he was sober.
What for that time?
Worrying.
Your brother's a goddamn liability.
Absolutely, but unfortunately, he's my brother.
Family is family. No.
So you're gonna rest?
Yeah, just a short rest.
You want to talk about anything while you're resting?
I'm going to talk to you about how I'm turning my remaining pact slot into sorcery points. That's about it.
Yes, you are.
I think I'd like to ask Jill something.
Okay.
So how is it that you know Clint? Were you originally from Kimmeria?
No, we are from slightly further north. We were taken to work making fine clothing for the wealthy and the powerful into one of the nicer sections of the London. Even as slaves, we had a very nice dwelling as children. However, my brother, always one to shirk authority, got us in trouble more often than not. And when we were eventually kicked out of the workhouse, we were adopted by father.
I'm sure you'll be very pleased to hear that I've managed to recoup the hit points that were taken from me by the baby.
I'm very, very pleased.
Very pleased.
We're all very pleased to.
4 hit points.
It was 5, actually.
5. It was 5.
Where?
It's the most devastating damage he's
Excuse
ever
me.
had against him. It's 5.
It's actually the most damage I've ever taken in a single blow.
Poor
That's this
Sepsis.
character.
God, if Sepsis ever falls unconscious, the drama's just going to be unbearable.
Well, then you'll
Jimmy
have to keep them
died.
alive, won't you?
Okay.
I died. I nearly died. Go on, Rich, sorry.
So, actually, I believe we've lost Greg's camera feed.
Oh no.
Oh no,
He sounds like he's underwater.
I've just lost him.
Ooh.
So while that's trying to be fixed at the moment, give us a second. Jill just carries on explaining, yes, and father then brought us up from there. But it's basically been me and my brother. Clint drops in us every once in a while. Kerry and Kai also.
Oh, sorry, I lost you guys then.
Kerry and Kai.
We're us all now.
Oh, hang on. 80, all the cameras have gone all wonky.
You
My
know,
bad.
We've done a wiggle.
you just disappeared on us, didn't
Yeah, I knocked the wireless receiver over and it.
We'll
I can't actually
fix
see
the
my
cameras
dice.
now in a second. We do apologise.
Yeah, we can see you.
However, that's the end of her answer to your question, Dice.
Okay.
Ace.
Ace, sorry.
I know Dice is usually the one asking questions.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Naturally inquisitive.
I know.
I will. I'll introduce myself to Jill because I realise that we haven't exchanged names yet, and I want to get in before anyone else does it and tells them our actual names. I'll say, and by the way, my name is Elias, and these are my colleagues Huey, Dewey, and Louis.
What is wrong with you? Can I look
all
at...
of us just
Quiet,
sort of
Dewey.
like give a look.
All right, Dewey. I'm okay with it.
I'm not so good with it.
Wait, which one are you, Huey or...
Huey.
Hmm?
That one's Huey, you're Dewey, and the tall one is Louis.
I was under the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what Clint said before he left last night, I was under the impression that you would be Sepsis, Oriana, Dice, and Ace.
No, those are obvious.
That would be correct.
Those are obvious pseudonyms. don't be ridiculous. Those are all very silly names.
I shake her hand and go, Dice, if Clint has already told you who we are, there is little point in...
It's
Oh, we're using our fake names. Well, then I'm Spider-Man.
Should we leave before I kick Spider-Man in the shins?
Okay. So your short rest goes without any anything going wrong. And
I think something's already gone wrong. This bitch knows our names.
God, she's dead.
Behave, Jack. Of course, whoever you are, I will behave. Sister, my conscience is talking to me again. And he's just sitting there with his head lolling against the wall.
Oh, good Lord. Your brother is,
A handful.
What does your conscience
one
sound
way
like?
to say.
My conscience sounds like my sister. Strangely enough.
It seems like maybe you don't listen to it.
No, it is as annoying, shrill, and boring as my sister is.
At least it's not a drunk.
It is not, which is why it makes no sense. Anyway, goodbye. See you all soon. Hopefully.
Hopefully so.
Maybe. And she unlocks the door from the inside and walks out with you.
Yep. We follow.
I do, I follow with enthusiasm.
Without the drunk brother holding you up, the passage through Briscoe is much quicker. Going the direction you are, though, for the north now, it does take a lot longer to circumvent the thin and winding streets of Briscoe at this point. But you do eventually, after maybe an hour, get to the northern edge of the town.
Okay.
You have seen all manner of races as normal. However, roll a perception check for me as you're going through.
Okay.
That's 11.
18.
13 for Oriana. And, another natural 1 for Worm.
I'm doing good.
What did you get, Ace?
11.
Dice?
18.
Okay. Dice, then, as you're walking through, you notice something. There are many deep gnomes. There are a few rock gnomes. There are many Durga. No dwarves. There are very few halflings. Maybe one or two, but they look manic. Not like the happy, charming, prank-loving fae that you were used to from home. You also notice that while there are quite a few half-orcs, ogres, they are very well-dressed, less thuggish in look. There are also quite a substantial amount of humans in the city, and they do not look as subservient and malnourished or downtrodden as the rest of you. However, all of their clothes are cut in a way to show off their forearm of their right arm. It's like each one of them is sporting a dress, shirt, jacket, but the right sleeve seems to be cut or definitively tailored to cut off at the elbow so that you can see the actually the bracer on them. And as you're walking through many of them, some of them look at you strangely because you're not wearing a bracer, you're wearing a collar.
Yeah.
Some of them maybe with a little fear, some of them maybe with a little worry for you. Others, the older ones, look at the collar and just kind of shrug it off as being aware that you are Kimrian.
Okay.
You're not local.
From here.
But you do eventually get to the side, and it is strange, as you are used to walled cities in Kimbria, from the ones you've been to recently. The side just kind of, the edge of the town just drops off from sprawling urban landscape to suddenly countryside. And stretching off up the hill in front of you is the beginning of a thick woodland. We do not have time to procure horses. Most of the horses are kept at the eastern or western gates. We can wait further, or we can just make our way north now. It is not unheard of for there to be foot traffic towards the forest. It's up to you. What would you like to do?
Well, if Clint could be in danger, the fastest route would be better. How far out of our way would it take us to get horses?
Perhaps another hour. It'll only take about half of that to get to those woods.
After that, surely it would be too thick for horses anyway.
Not necessarily. The woods themselves, a horse could find their way through, but it would be as slow going as we were walking.
It seems then there's little point to me.
I was just thinking maybe a quick exit, but you're right. Time is of the essence here. Then please, this way. And she stalks ahead of you, out into the countryside, towards the forest, up the hill. So only Jill went up the hill. Jack stayed.
You're a terrible human being.
So you make your way up the hill.
Yeah.
And you eventually, after about half an hour, realizing that it is quite a trek, the hill is quite steep. Jill almost falls, but rights herself.
I'm not biting.
No.
I can't even look at you.
And she eventually gets to the edge of the forest. And you can tell now you are at the top of the hill. As you stare into the forest very quickly, the trees seem to drop and the land seems to drop away further back down into a kind of bowl in the landscape.
Okay.
There is light somewhere in the distance between the trees, but you're not at the edge. You're just at the edge of the forest. Do you enter?
I assume at some point along the way here, what with the 45 minutes and the fact that I cast my disguise self several hours beforehand, or an hour beforehand at least, it would have worn off in their house, wouldn't it? I don't recast it.
Okay.
Same for Oriana.
Yeah, I'm my normal ginger self now.
Okay.
But I assume there might have been a reaction to that, and I didn't think to say.
As you are about to enter the forest, then, Sepsis, telepathically, there is a voice in your head. Boss, feels weird.
The forest?
Ahead.
What about it?
Same thing as last time. Closer I got when I was tracking those carts here. It's weird.
Weird how, one?
Can't describe it in your language. Just weird.
Do you speak Abyssal?
No. Infernal.
Oh, I speak that.
Oh, okay.
Describe it in your language.
1,000 screaming souls, agony and death.
Lovely.
Do you want to roll an Arcana check?
Yes,
Sepsis with
please.
advantage.
Oh, I would love to.
A bit of advantage.
It's lucky I had advantage. It's a 15 even with it, but it would have been a natural one.
This is a very familiar feeling to you. You have felt it surrounding you in your dreams. You have felt it in your hand every time you've grasped the rod.
I love grasping the rod.
You have felt it every time you cast Eldritch Blast. There is necrotic energy ahead of you.
'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling.
It's the same kind of power level and feeling that you had when you were following the trail after the Tulpa previously.
We're talking about necrotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hey guys.
Yes.
Oh, necrotic energy up ahead.
Like the hands.
Oh.
Like death magic.
Oh.
Oh.
Not that I would know anything about that.
I forgot to say the construct, the giant hulking bra thing. It is powered by necrotic energy. I got the impression that it may be powered by a soul, which is all kinds of fucked up. But it's interesting that you say that the necrotic energy up ahead.
I too am horrified by this thing that you have said.
Sure. Of course you are. I don't think that we can stop necessarily, though. I think we need to proceed, and at least also, if it is something to do, if the elves are creating an army of those things, I want to know more about that. That's dangerous.
I think knowing that what we're getting into is still valuable. So thank you for that information, Sepsis. I still think we should go forward.
Jill, does this mean anything to you?
Sure. I just forewarned is forearmed, I suppose.
So as it does not mean anything to me, I do not know anything about magic, unfortunately.
We do. Not all of us the same type of magic, but we all build magic in some way.
Very well. Then, do we press on?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to press on quickly or stealthily?
Can I, like, I don't know, like, can I ascertain whether there's anything weird about the forest itself?
Roll me a
In a
nature
sort
check.
That's what I was looking for, thank you. Oh, 23.
The forest itself, considering you spent quite a lot of time in your travels recently in forests, it is nothing like the strange forest that you fought the owlbears in outside Cardiff. But it is also not as healthy as any of the other forests you've been in either. It seems that the trees are in a perpetual state of half rot. There is more moss on these trees than you've seen previously. Some of them are almost 3/4 covered. Very few of them, even though it's the middle of summer right now, actually have a full, very few of them are actually full of leaves. They seem to be in a perpetual state of almost dead.
I like reach out to the nearest tree and sort of like dig my fingers into it and pull away like a soft, rotted section of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like hold it up in front of everyone and say, "These trees are shitty." And I throw it on the ground.
I'm really sorry you feel that way.
No, I mean like they're sick. They're really shitty.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense than you just being offended by these trees in general.
Well, I wouldn't say it offends me, but like, you know.
It's like
Hey,
because of
Dice,
the
how much
crystals?
interaction have you had with trees in the past? Because you realise that I shouldn't just be able to pull chunks out of them. I do it again.
enough to know that that's not right. I think perhaps we should proceed in a stealthy fashion, just being cautious, as stealthy as possible. Ace.
Agreed.
So I would like everyone to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Lovely. I'm so good at these.
So
Would you like that at
Could I-
disadvantage?
Ace,
Mr. DM?
dice, Ace is disadvantage. I
Okay.
need Dice and Cedric. I need Sepsis, Oriana,
it's not too bad.
and Woo.
So Worm is obviously invisible.
So advantage for Woo.
Yeah. I was going to ask if Worm can like help me at all by trying to like guide me through slightly better bit. Well, that's probably a stretch.
Yeah.
Never mind. I retract my cheeky request.
Cheeky half request.
Thank you, you can do it.
So Worm has rolled 20.
Okay.
Ace got 14, which isn't too bad.
With disadvantage, okay.
Yeah, with
All right.
disadvantage.
Oh wait, I rolled a natural 1 for Oriana, but she's wearing the cloak of elven kind.
Yeah.
So she gets advantage. Yeah.
So she has advantage. In which case she rolled 18
Nice.
Ooh.
and
Dice?
4 sepsis.
Cedric rolled 18, I rolled a 15 with advantage.
7 for sepsis.
7 for sepsis.
7.
Okay. As you progress, then, Sepsis is about to step on a desiccated, dry twig, which you know would have caused a resounding, echoing snap throughout the forest. However, the surprisingly quiet Ace grabs Sepsis just before this occurs and points to it quietly, and Sepsis manages to step over it, and you make your way down into the forest. As you go, the air, even though the breeze coming through this forest is quite cool, the air seems muggy and oppressive. It's almost as if the atmosphere is weighing on you and pushing you down. I need, at this distance, everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, but you get advantage.
I assume Cedric does not need to roll one,
Cedric does not need to roll, no.
not really having a constitution.
Does sepsis have any sort of resistance to what's happening? Like,
Actually-
I guess I'm asking, is it poison or?
I apologize. Sorry, I do apologize. Sepsis, you don't need to roll.
Okay, cool. What about Worm?
Worm is fine.
Okay, but Ariana, I guess, does.
Yes.
So,
It's good.
so that was 21.
Okay.
22 for Ori.
Dice?
15.
With advantage? Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. It is almost as if, even though it is quite a cool day, it is almost as if you are standing in the middle of the hottest desert. And the atmosphere, while it tries to sap your strength, for a lot of you, you push through it. Sepsis, you've never been more comfortable in your life.
Oh,
Same for Ori.
Ori's fine. Same. But you make your way further and further down into the forest. It's now at this distance through the trees, you can start to see quite a lovely country estate building. The forest is cut back from it. There's about 50 feet on all sides of the building that are clear and grass. A very nice tended lawn. However, the grass is the same brown almost as the bark of the trees. It is ill. The house itself, at first glance, looks beautiful. The closer you get, however, you do see that some of the rocks are crumbling. The fascias are falling off. At least one side of the house is covered in ivy, but the ivy is dead. The entire side of the house is completely covered, but it is dead and almost white in its fossilization. Well, it's part of the fossilization. It's been dead for a long time.
Can I see any tracks on our path through the forest, assuming that Clint might have come this way?
Roll me a survival check.
Am I rolling against his stealth check? Because this is going to go horribly.
Not necessarily.
Right. Right, a survival check, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be 21.
Okay. Crouching down low, you do start to discern that there are quite a lot of tracks in this forest. There seem to be a lot of tracks that overlap in a long, winding circle around the estate, like a guard patrol. You cannot hear anyone. These tracks seem to have been made a good few hours ago, as if maybe they were sent out because of something happening and haven't been sent out since. But you do notice that there are tracks that cross them, possibly made earlier than these ones, because the tracks going in a circle seem to stamp straight through this single line of tracks heading towards the estate.
Okay, I'm going to try and keep an eye on those as we're stealthing our way towards the house.
Okay.
Towards the house.
Roll me another stealth check, then, please.
Okay.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I
7
concur.
for worm.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Mine was 5.
Okay, that sounds return to form. Cedric's was 14, mine was 15.
Ariana got a 13 and Sepsis got a 7
Okay.
again.
So hang on, remind me of those again, because dice.
Mine was 15 and 14. 15 for me, 14 for Cedric.
Ace.
5.
Sepsis 7. Oriana.
13.
13. Okay. As you are both progressing, then this time, both Sepsis and Ace miss quite a large log in front of them, and as they start to step on it, and it looks quite sturdy, both of their feet just go straight through the log. There is a loud crack. Sepsis almost stumbles. Ace calls out, and the sound echoes throughout the forest.
Oh,
You hear crows cawing as a large flock of them bursts from the trees above you and starts to wheel in the air.
Murder most foul.
Oh crap.
Okay. After a few minutes
I don't like that.
of trying to be as quiet as possible, you can't see any movement coming from the house, nothing through any of the windows, no doors opening.
Would you roll on that perception check there, Richard?
Might have been a 1.
Thought it might have been.
It might have been a 1. No, I'm not confirming anything, but it might have been a 1. And after a few more minutes, you feel safe enough to continue. Sepsis,
Hello.
roll me an Arcana check
Oh, I would love to.
with advantage.
Oh, thank goodness, because there was a 3 on that die and I didn't like it at all. Oh, that's much better. Numbers. It's just a nice round 20 there.
Okay. Whatever you're feeling in this area is concentrated not on the house, though it is almost central. You can almost see a path, many paths, like a giant spider web, of which you are on just one strand stretching out towards the edge. But the spiderweb's center, however, from what you can tell, is behind the house, not in the house.
Okay. When you say paths, is it like where the horrible ghost demon thing had dragged that dragged through that field, the one
More
we followed
like-
before.
More like ley lines that you can see with your mind's eye.
Sepsis sighs very deeply and says, "Okay, so I don't necessarily know if this means anything, but there's a convergence of some sort behind the house.
It's certainly interesting, don't you think?
Yes, it's there's some sort of fell energy that seems to crisscross around here, and the central point of it is behind the house."
It sounds like where we need to go to have a look and figure out what's happening here and see perhaps if we can find Clint.
I would agree.
All right. We'll start trying to stealthily head in that direction because we've done real good at that.
Okay. So roll me another stealth check, then, please.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, that was a bit better.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, so that was 18.
18, nice.
Mhm.
Ace? Dice on
That was
me?
it.
Dice?
So
Sorry, you lagged for a second. I completely lost you. You want my stealth scores, yeah?
Yes, please.
Mine is going to be 22, and Cedric's this time is going to be 18.
Okay.
Uh,
Sepsis?
yes, I got 18 for Oriana,
Okay.
24 for Worm,
Okay.
and for Sepsis I rolled a 13.
Okay.
Feel better?
That's a lot better. You do then, at the edge of the forest with a lot less sticks, the grass, while dead, in this lawn is quite long.
Six, our
And
only weakness.
you easily and quite quietly make your way around the large estate building in front of you. Behind the estate, where you would normally expect, having seen the front of it, to be maybe a large garden, there are ruins, a much older building, reminiscent of maybe a castle or a temple of some kind.
Okay.
The roof is gone. A lot of the walls are still intact. There are a few gaps in them. However, now you are this close, you can hear voices.
Okay.
Can we
They are
sort of duck
mumbled
down and listen?
and they're mumbled and echoing. Incredibly difficult to discern any actual words, but you can hear the obvious pattern of speech.
Okay.
should we get closer?
I think maybe I should send my creature
I
closer.
think that would be wise.
Wait, what creature? I thought one was dead.
Worm is, yes. I reperformed the ritual this morning after you got up, and I've got this thing, and I like in his spider form, I allow Worm to become visible in my hand.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Will it take a while to get to the voices? Being a
Uh,
spider and all?
I can change its form. It could be perhaps a raven.
We
Right.
did hear some.
Yeah.
Roll an Arcana check against this.
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana check.
I would have thought you'd roll insight.
To know find familiar.
No, about find familiar and how long the ritual would take,
Okay.
roughly, would be
Mhm.
good. 18.
Okay. So,
Just wondering what I know already.
A level 1 spell.
it is a level 1 spell. You would be aware of it.
Yep.
You know that it takes maybe 45 minutes to an hour to perform.
Yeah, how far behind us was sepsis? Because I didn't think they were that long
When?
when we got up this morning. Because I went down and had a brief chat with her. She served breakfast, and then sepsis came out of the room.
I was maybe 10 minutes behind.
That is a valid observation. However, it is not to say that he didn't do it.
Okay.
They didn't do it at some point during the night.
They just told me that they did it this morning.
They did.
I did.
That's real interesting right there. I don't need an insight check on that one. Thank you. I don't say anything. I just...
Okay, cool. So you're going to send Worm... Sorry, this is the DM now. You're going to send Worm as a raven above the ruins.
Can I roll an insight check to see if I realise what dice has just worked out?
You absolutely can.
Ace is blissfully unaware, just like...
I don't.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can make, you can ask dice to roll if you like. I rolled a 5.
Do you want to hide your observations from sepsis?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a deception check. Do you have to beat a 5?
Yeah, I know, but I know how bad my deception is. 19 for the first time in my life.
My rolls have been all over the place today. This wasn't a good day for a lie.
The shoe is on the other foot now,
I
motherfucker.
should have known better.
To be fair, Di still suspects very little. She just knows sepsis lied to her. That's cool. That's fine.
So, the raven takes flight and soars above the...
Invisibly.
Soars invisibly above the castle. Okay, AD, this would be much easier then to describe if you could all see what the raven is about to. So take me to a battle map, please.
Oh, with the rearrangement of things.
Take us to the map.
Picture of them.
That is not a battle map, but it's them.
It's a map.
Give away them. You're big.
Okay.
Got my lovely nails.
They are lovely.
I spent lots of time doing them.
They're very pretty.
I think that troll last week would really enjoy them.
Yeah,
Don't you?
The troll who came to the ludicrous conclusion that we weren't a group of straights, you mean? That troll?
That one
Oh.
indeed.
I'm right.
Such a leap.
Greg, your internet problem has caused so many issues.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Yeah.
It's
It comes down to me having a really old-fashioned, USB pluggable wireless adapter.
that
It
isn't
also comes down to you having completely knocked it over.
Yeah, but I've had this adapter for probably 12 years because it works really well, and every other one I've tried replacing it with just doesn't work very well. In fact, I
That's
like
fair.
it so much that I ordered the same one for Charlie, even though it's really, really out of date. But because I've had it for so long and it's been
Yeah.
plugged in and unplugged a whole bunch of times, I think the connection is a little bit looser than it once was. So
Yeah.
if you knock it much, the cable comes out.
For the people who are watching, this is what happens when your DM gets new scenery.
Yeah, he immediately has to use it.
Yeah.
It
lights up and everything.
It's pretty though. It does light up, and the runes fade in and out, which is really
Yeah, I
pretty.
can see.
Richard,
Super
that
pretty.
scenery is so pretty.
Yeah.
We were just remarking how beautiful the scenery is.
And the fact that...
Have you had that for a long time?
Yeah. It didn't randomly rock up this week or anything. Okay, so as the raven worm flies over the top, you notice that this entrance here at the bottom on the right is the one that's facing you. The walls are maybe 20 to 30 feet high. Inside is just as ruined as the outside, however. The guards waiting there all elven, not with any of livery that you've seen before. However, you do then notice that further on, there does seem to be a man chanting. There is a large stone arch in front of him, 2 pillars on either side with glowing and flickering symbols. In front of him is a bonfire circled by stone. There are symbols on the stones surrounding the bonfire that are glowing, and there are symbols on the ring as well. Not all of them are glowing, but some of them are. As he gets further in, you do then notice, trussed up on one side of the fire, is a very familiar figure to you. It is Clint.
Does he look willing?
We don't know.
We don't know, yeah.
He is tied up. That's all Womb can see, is that he's tied up.
The forceful temptation to just be like, oh, there's nothing there. But no, I'm gonna. Okay, so there is some sort of dark ritual happening over there, and Clint seems to be perhaps about to be sacrificed.
Okay, I think maybe we should
That seems
get
like
Intervene.
over there then.
Yes, that's certainly one way of looking at it. Another way, oh, fine.
how many? Wait. How many guards are there?
Richard?
4.
4 guards.
4 that Womb has seen.
So there's 4 visible guards.
The guards are the ones low in the picture,
Yes.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Rich might change the scenery on us.
And there's just the one dude chanting, you said?
One dude chanting, and then the black-robed or black-clad Clint off to the left.
Right.
Right. So do we go in all crossbows blazing, or do we try and go in stealthily and take them from behind, so to speak?
As you are having this conversation, the chanting stops.
Oh crap!
So we hear that then, presumably.
You can hear the chanting stop, yes.
In my experience, when the chanting stops, that's not usually good for the person who's going to be.
I think maybe we should hot tail it over there.
Is Worm still over there observing?
Yeah, probably circling overhead.
Boss.
I'll look through his eyes.
And as you look through his eyes, then you can see him talking to Clint.
The wizard guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the sort of body language of that situation? He said, knowing you're going to say roll an insight check, which I'm not very good at.
Absolutely going to say roll an insight check.
Fine.
But Sepsis has no understanding of normal people.
Woohoo! It was a 6. I am actually proficient in insight. I just can't roll it.
Okay. You basically see a robed figure talking to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really discern anything from them, apart from the robed figure seems very confident.
All right.
Okay. Yes, I think we should. If we're going to do something, we should do it now.
Yes, I
also,
think we should.
Priority 1 target should probably be the one by the fire who until recently was chanting.
Isn't it always the magic user you go for first? Okay, let's go. I'm going to run in and send Cedric towards that guy.
Okay.
And I am going to prepare a spell of my own.
Everyone roll me a stealth check.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like those.
No. That's particularly poor from me as well.
Christ.
Oh.
I got an 11 for Oriana.
I got an 8.
Fucking hell. 12, and for Cedric, bizarrely, a 20. Why is he so much more stealthy than I am, despite that my stealth score is higher?
I fucking
Also,
resign.
he's the metal one.
I resigned from Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Give me a
I
second.
got a 1 for sepsis. I rolled a 1, and and I add 1 to that. So that if anyone would like to check my maths, I think that comes out to a total of 2.
No, I've checked the math. You're wrong. It comes out to 23.
Oh, apparently it's 23, Bri. I'm
Yeah.
all right.
Cool. Okay. So.
Nice.
11 at least. Yes,
So-
I agree.
1
As
plus
you
1 is a window, I've heard.
as you rush in, seemingly the guards do not notice Cedric. They do not notice the rush of dice behind him. They do not notice Ace clanking towards the gap in the wall.
Are they deaf?
They do not notice Oriana. However,
And then Sepsis bursts out of the tree line, firing eldritch blasts off into the air. Pew, 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 pew!
they do notice the manic Sepsis going, "Ah!" as he runs
I'll
out of the
murder
tree.
every last motherfucking one of you!
Okay, so surprise round fail. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Yeah, okay. That seems reasonable.
Fucking Yosemite Sam my way over to the combat.
Okay, so
Roll initiative.
Fuck's sake, my initiative is shite.
I got a good one this time.
I did. One of those for me.
I tried rolling again, not to cheat, just to see if the dice did any better the second time.
Did
And
they?
it got a 5.
Okay.
I was just curious. I would never cheat my dice rolls. I just
Of
would
course.
never.
Of course.
Never, never.
So you're all in.
Yep,
Yes.
it went very well.
First things first, then we will focus a bit more on this map down here. There we go.
Where we are at the moment.
All right.
Right. Do you mind if I roll initiative for Worm separately? Because if he's on my turn, I always just forget to have him do anything.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Thanks. Nice.
Okay, so using the D&D Beyond Encounter Builder, because I love it, I'm going to need... Ace, what's yours?
19.
19. Fantastic.
I wish I'd
Sepsis.
had that for stealth.
For Sepsis, it's 11.
For Worm?
For Worm, it is 21.
Okay. Cool. And... Awesome. All right, 19, 11, 21. And there we go. Dice.
7
Excellent. Cedric?
goes on my initiative.
Okay, you can have that on your initiative then. That's fine. And then Oriana?
19.
19. Fantastic. Okay.
So he has to go on my initiative because he's a bonus action for me.
Excellent. Okay, and... Okay, so... As you all rush in then, you do not see anything occur.
Like they don't move.
Right. We don't see anything occur, do we? That was not ominous.
You hear chanting. You don't see anything happen. However, I'm gonna need. Well, yeah, it's actually Worm's go. Give me a second.
What did Worm roll?
21.
Oh,
Yes, it is. So,
Worm.
yeah, so Worm is going to invisibly. Bro, did you just take the wizard away? Did you say no?
That wasn't a very convincing deception roll you did there, DM.
Okay, hang on.
Because the
Sorry.
wizard's gone, see?
Give
That
me a
is the thing that
second.
I've noticed.
Give me a second. The D&D encounter decided to get all fluky. Okay, retcon. As you rush in then, I'm going to get up and sit down a lot in this encounter. This one disappears.
Right. Okay.
As you rush in, that one disappears.
So what's going to happen is that Worm is going to basically dive bomb the wizard's face, and like become visible just as it gets right up in his eye line,
Okay.
and just like screech, and by doing so try to surprise the wizard into it's a help action. He's doing a help action to like grant advantage to whatever attack might come
Okay.
on the wizard dude.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So he's going to use his action to attempt to help someone else. That's fine.
And he's going to try and swoop away. So if there's an attack of opportunity, that would happen here.
Okay. The wizard looks at him stoically, coldly, and just does not move to react.
Okay.
But he is focused on Wood at the moment.
I am doing a hecking concern.
Ace?
So much concern. Okay. Ace is going to cast Moonbeam at 2nd level.
Moonbeam at 2nd level. Where?
On the wizard, if I can get it within that.
Okay. To get a vantage point on the wizard, imagine that all of the walls you can see, like the solid grey walls, are about 30 feet tall.
Okay.
To get a vantage point on the wizard, you would have to run almost directly into the center of those 4 guards.
Okay. In that case, then that wouldn't have been a wise choice. I'll take on the guard nearest to me then.
Okay. So, this is going to rush forward.
Yes.
Okay.
A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius upon him. I said a silvery beam of light of 5-foot radius will shine down
Here
upon
on top
him.
of him. So you are going to use Moonbeam on that guard, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And con saving throw?
Yep.
I don't think that's going to pass.
No? What was it?
Oh, very good. That's what it was. Okay. Let's see. Con save. That's gonna be a 7.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything.
Okay. So, how much damage?
I need to double check. 2d10. Thought so. Sorry, I'm sitting really awkwardly for my dice. That is going to be 10 damage in total.
10 damage in total.
Yeah.
Okay. So the moonbeam shines down on him, striking him for 10 damage.
Yep.
He screams in burning pain. It is now... Is that the end of your go?
Yeah, I can only do 2 melee, isn't it? I can't,
Yeah.
I can't move that as a second part. Yep, that's fine. I'll keep that as my go then.
Cool. And it is Oriana's go.
Okay, Oriana is going to. Does she not have? I thought she did. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oriana is going to run to just behind and just to the left of Sepsis so that she can see the wizard dude. Please.
Hang on.
So, behind Sepsis, 1 to our left of Sepsis. or to Sepsis's left of Sepsis. Sorry, not Sepsis. Ace. I'm
Ace.
saying wrong words.
I was
sorry.
thinking that. Hang on.
My brain.
You got
So-
sepsis on the brain.
I
Yeah.
wrote this or failed.
There.
No, one behind.
There.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay.
And then, not being one to fuck about, she's going to open proceedings with a 4th level Scorching Ray,
Okay.
Oh boy.
which is 5 rays, I believe.
Let's have a look. 4th level Scorching Ray is 5 rays, yeah.
So, how would that help action resolve? Would it just be advantage on the first shot, or is it for all of them?
Well, they're instantaneous, so we advantage on them all.
Okay, cool. Well, let's count them down then.
Mm-hmm.
That is what am I adding? Oh, that's 24.
Hit.
That one is 18.
Hit.
23.
Hit.
22.
Hit.
And 25.
All of them hit.
5 hits.
Nice.
Don't get that very often.
No, yes, advantage is nice to have. Okay, so they are 2d6 fire damage each. So I guess that makes 10d6 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
4, 6. I've only got 7d6s.
Oh, how difficult.
Just roll them in 2s.
Okay, so
Clearly not a
3,
road.
6, 12, 15, 21, 25, 27. Then 28, 30, 34 fire damage to that
34 fire damage.
to that robed gentleman.
Hey. His robes catch a light.
Yep. And Ariana is wreathed in fire.
She is. He does, however, just very slowly turn and again look quite coldly. No emotion.
I think you'll find he looks quite warm, mate.
He's not even trying to pat out the fire on his robes.
Oh dear. That does make me do a big concern.
One of that's for you. And Ariana is
I don't like this.
apparently wreathed in fire, which is important. Okay.
And
Is that the end of Ariana's go?
no.
Okay.
Oriana will also use 2 sorcery points to quicken a ray of frost for him. Which is also... is this 2 beams? I think this might...
Before you
this
quicken
is
the
just-
ray of frost,
Yeah.
can you please roll a wild magic search?
Oh, yes.
Nice.
18.
Remembered. I'm proud of you.
18. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, as I say, 2 sorcery points quicken spell on a ray of frost.
Yeah.
That is 17.
17 does hit.
Excellent.
Roll for damage.
I shall. That's 2d8. That is 12 damage. 12 icy cold damage. And his speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of Ariana's next turn.
It absolutely is. Okay. It is now. Give me a second.
I'm feeling very much like we've fallen for something here.
Mm-hmm.
It is now the turn of the one standing in front of Ace.
Well, we don't like that.
Ace, remind me, Moonbeam, does it affect creature on their turn?
It does. when they begin their turn. Oh no, it says
Is it at
on
the end?
each of my turns. I can. Oh no, on each of my turns I can move it. Just checking.
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there you go.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
very quick.
no, that's fine. So con save. It's going to be a 19, so it does save. It gets half damage. Roll 2d10 for me.
I will do. And that is a 9 and an 8, which would make it a 17.
Okay. So 17.
Yeah.
Half is 8. Rounded down. So 8 damage. It is looking fucked up.
Yeah.
For anyone new here watching, there are 3 degrees of damage I will use to describe how close they are to death. Hurt is half. Messed up is about 75% taken off. Fucked up is it's gonna die pretty soon. Just nudge it. So the moonbeam messes it up, and it is still standing. So
He's still standing
Not better than the other ones.
after
turns
all
on
this moonbeam.
What was that?
it turns on you
Mm-hmm.
and draws its sword.
Mm.
But instead of striking you with it, holds its sword out, and a 15-foot cone of flame bursts from the end of it,
Ooh.
engulfing you and Oriana.
Ooh,
I need Ace and Oriana to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Wait, this is coming from one of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Dexterity saving throw, you said.
Yep.
But here's the thing about I don't want to. I think Ariana's got inspiration and she's going to use it for this.
Okay, I can mark that off. Give me a second.
Yeah, thanks. Fuck.
I do not have inspiration. I just didn't do a very good roll then.
Okay, what was your dex saving throw, please?
My dex saving throw was... it says... it says two on saves, whatever that means. So is that just plus 2 or protection?
Oh,
Is it
that's
on
your
me?
that's your paladin thing. You give an
Yes.
extra.
Sorry.
boost
Yeah,
to-
yeah. So it's 13, but I don't think that's going to do it. But
Okay.
Can I just take a minute to toot my own horn for a second because I used that inspiration very judiciously.
Mhm.
I fucked up my roll. One of the dice bounced out of the dice tree and landed on the floor, which we all know a dice on the floor doesn't count. The one that made it down the dice tree rolled a 3, to which Oriana adds nothing. I re-rolled it. Natural 20.
Nice.
ooh,
Okay, so
I use. How close am I to Ace?
you are currently 15 feet away.
Yeah, I'm going to use Flash of Genius and add 4 to Ace's saving throw.
So your total ace would be
it was
17.
13. So yeah.
so 17. So you both save.
Cool.
However, you do take half damage.
Yeah.
Well,
So
quarter damage.
For Oriana.
because she's resistant to fire.
I'm not. It says
10.
under my resistances, it has like a little R, and then it says all.
I think that's conditions. Is that under conditions or defenses?
Fences,
Mhm.
resistances, all, aura of warding. Give me a second.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
that's a new one on me. So let's check.
You have resistance to damage from spells.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, so you take quarter damage as well. Okay, so 10, 20. You both take 5 fire damage.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm not a jacket potato. It's great.
With tinfoil.
Hey, have you heard of? Have you heard of this new spell called Hellish Rebuke?
Yeah.
It's really new,
Okay. So
but it's kind of cool.
So Oriana's going to use Hellish
Never
Rebuke
used
then,
it.
yeah?
Certainly is, yeah.
Okay.
Roll a dexterity saving throw for this dragon's breath motherfucker.
That's a natural 1.
Good. Good. Do. Oh, 17 on the 2d10s.
Ooh.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
roll.
Okay, so, yeah. Nice.
Does he melt, Bri? Have we melted him?
Yes.
Did we
so,
House of Wax this bitch?
You do. As the flames draw back into the blade of his sword, the blade of his sword made from eldritch green energy, he is suddenly wreathed in flames. And because he's currently got a massive moonbeam spotlight, the mixture of colors is insane, and it makes you kind of ward your eyes. But as soon as you blink and see him there, he's just a pile of ash on the floor.
That one
is still
God's
active.
very bad, no good day.
Moonbeam still active. Okay.
It's a very bad, no good day.
It is now one of the other two. In fact, yeah. Before Sepsis goes, one of these guys goes. So.
Are they intimidated at all?
Go. Right. They're not intimidated. He is going to run in. Standing between you. And suddenly,
He's not half the man he used to be.
tendrils of dark energy erupt from him and begin to lash out and batter all of the creatures within 10 feet of him. Make a strength saving throw for Ace and Oriana.
Oof, 19.
19, okay.
Yep.
That is 23.
Brilliant. Okay, so you are both, you're only taking half damage, and you do not have your reactions removed from your set list. However,
Is that a spell?
it absolutely is. Sepsis, do you want to tell her what spell this is?
I don't know, actually. It's not Hunger of Hadar, is it? Because it's
Arms of the Dark.
Arms of Hadar, right?
Okay, so that's 15. So, Oriana and Ace, you take 7 necrotic damage.
7. Is that already halved?
Yeah.
Didn't we just establish that because of Aura of Warding, Ace only takes... Ace has resistance.
Ace takes 3.
Yes.
So 3.
Wait a minute. Aura of Warding and friendly creatures. You both only take 3 points of damage.
Oh, lovely.
As long as Ori is within 10 feet of Ace, then the Aura of Warding covers.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I suppose Oriana's saving throw was actually a 21 as well, because... Oh, Bri, was that a melee attack by any chance?
It was not.
Not a melee spell attack, was it?
It's not, no.
Okay.
So, it is now Sepsis's go.
Sepsis' go. So, you see where that wall ends? Just in the middle of the page there.
Yeah.
If I ran to there, would I be able to see him from that angle?
Yes.
Okay. And could I make it? I can't see Sepsis because they're covered by the faces.
Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Okay. Then Sepsis will run there, please.
Look at me with my shitty initiative.
You mean here, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay.
First things first, I'm the realist. First things first, Sepsis will use 2 of their sorcery points to cast darkness, centered just behind the. Well, actually, centered between Clint and the wizard, so they're both in it.
Okay.
I think it's a 20-foot radius. Let me just check that. No, sorry, 15-foot radius. Yeah, so centered between, exactly between them. 15, yeah, that's perfect. And because I used sorcery points to cast it, I can see through it. I keep my sorcery points in a note because D&D Beyond doesn't handle having more sorcery points than you're supposed to have very well, even though it has been confirmed that it is allowed by he who is called Crawford. And then I will use 2 more of my sorcery points, please, to quicken an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
And that will be at advantage because he's blind, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 26.
26 hits.
And only a 19 on the second one.
Okay. Still hits.
I thought it would. So, blah, blah, blah. There it is. Eldritch Blast. D10. That's 12 damage.
12 damage.
Yes, 12.
In total, yeah?
Yes, 12 damage in total of the force variety, I believe. Yes, force damage.
Okay. And there we go.
That ends Sepsis' go.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll just duck back behind that wall. I'm not hiding. I know I can't do that, but I just want to duck back behind it for, cover.
Okay, that's fine. Right. So.
Oh no, I don't like the sound of that.
So is never good.
Yeah, no, I don't like a so.
Though you cannot see anything through the darkness, you hear.
Sepsis can.
Yeah, I can see through the darkness.
Yeah. But you're not looking because you ducked back behind the wall.
Well, I'd be peeking.
Okay.
Not like...
You can see that he is waving his hands, preparing to cast a spell. And he is, through the darkness, as you can see, he is looking directly at Oriana and Ace.
Oh dear.
No issue, no blindness. His eyes seem to almost be glowing.
Okay.
Not in it.
Fair enough.
And there we go. Bum, bum, bum. There we are. Okay. He is going to cast a Eldritch Blast at Oriana.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a 19, an 18,
Yeah, they both hit.
and a 12.
Oh, three beams, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Johnny 3 beams over here.
All 3 hit, yeah?
Yeah, of course they all hit.
Let's go.
She's a sorcerer. She's got 10 AC.
Oh yeah. Also, she's wearing like a napkin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really the issue. there.
she's literally wearing a stolen bandana as a top.
I'm like,
So,
my
6
size
plus
is so
4,
big.
10, 11. 10 plus 11, 21, plus 13. 21, that's going to be 34 points of damage to Oriana.
That's also a spell, right?
34, you say?
Mm-hmm.
So she gets resistance because of Ace's awesome aura.
Yep.
That's pretty great.
Ridiculously.
So
That's going to
17
be
then?
17 damage to Oriana.
That's still lots.
It could have been worse.
Oriana's looking pretty messed up, if I'm honest.
Okay. It is also,
Um,
the sorcerer in front of you is also then going to attempt to cast a second spell. They begin chanting, however, it does not work on this turn.
okay.
So,
Okay. I don't
while you are staring at this sepsis, your friends are being attacked. Here. This one runs over and attempts to strike Oriana.
Hey, Richard,
Mm-hmm.
if you kill my wife while I'm piloting her, you're going to end my marriage.
Okay. So,
okay, whatever. That's very wise.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit. Fine, that's fine. I will stop coming to your D&D session if you end my marriage. You realise that, right? Okay.
this one is going to strike with its arcane
Business.
force saber and is going to
Beat saber.
strike at Oriana. And that's going to be 2 slashes at Oriana. One is only a 7.
Does not hit.
The other is a 16.
Does hit.
There we go. Maybe. Okay, so the sword, she takes 8 slashing damage, reduced to 4.
Okay. Why is it reduced?
Resistance or rewarding.
I thought that was only spells.
Sorry, yes, resistant to damage from spells. I apologize. So that's 8 slashing damage.
Lovely. Help yourself to 2 fire damage in return.
Mm-hmm. However, she also then takes 4 force damage. As the sword strikes her, the arcane energy that the blade is made out of ripples, and you hear the sound of what almost sounds like an eldritch blast striking flesh.
So is that one halved?
It is. That 4 is already half. Sorry.
Okay. Guys, it's not looking good for our friend Oriana here.
Yep. Yep.
Nice, it's your go.
Yeah.
And it is Ace's go. Ace will be giving a hand with that.
Yes. Dice can see what's happening with Ori and
Dice sees what's happening here.
Just as an FYI, we're probably not going to want to finish in the middle of this battle. This might go on a little bit later than 11 o'clock.
Oh yeah, because it's 5-2 already.
I know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is it's not going to be too much later, because
No.
I know this is going to work, but it's not going to be too
How
long.
this is going to work. I hate
All right,
that.
so bear with us for a minute. All right.
okay, fine. I am going to look at sepsis and see that they're perfectly healthy at the
Mhm.
moment, as far as I can tell, and that Oriana is definitely not.
Mm.
And I'm going to move sideways so I can get line of sight on. How many guards are left? 2.
That's right.
Okay, I'm
Probably
struggling.
3. One mysteriously disappeared.
Oh, it could be 3. All right, fine. I'm going to step sideways by 1. I'm going to send Cedric in to the one right in front of Ori, and I'm going to attempt to shoot that one twice with my crossbow.
So Cedric, here. Or
Yeah.
Here?
The one, just as long as they're within 5 feet of Ori.
That one.
Yeah, that one. I love that you can hear us without headphones now. And yeah, I need to move sideways 1 so I can get line of sight, because otherwise I'm behind a wall.
You've got enough line of sight. You can duck out and duck back in. You're all right.
We'll say I'm doing that. I'm going to attempt to shoot the fucker in front of Ori twice.
Okay, cool.
I don't get advantage on that, do I?
No, unfortunately.
Shame. That's fine though. For a change, it's okay. The first one is going to be an 18 to hit.
18 hits, roll for damage.
Yep. I can't remember what my damage dice is. It's been so long since I actually hit something. I'm kidding. I'm not. Right. The first one is going to be 11 damage.
11, okay.
Yeah.
So cool. It's looking hurt as it takes a crossbow bolt to the shoulder, almost dropping its sword. It rallies.
It's fine. The second one is going to be a 27 to hit.
It definitely hits, roll for damage.
Yeah, it was a good roll. The damage is crapper though. 10 damage.
10 damage. It is looking particularly fucked up as the crossbow bolt strikes its other shoulder. It is on its last legs as it screams at you.
Good. I'm going to attempt to bite it with Cedric as a full and Firebrand.
Go for it.
Yeah, Cedric's going to hit for 19.
19 hits, roll for damage.
And that is going to then be 1d8. Come on, Cedric. That's going to be 5 damage. Cedric.
Cedric's jaws not only clamp around its leg and rip off the leg, but with the force of it throwing its head to one side to rip off its leg, the elf is cast, thrown backwards, and crumbles dead against the wall.
Good, cool. Cedric still has some movement left because his movement speed is 40 anyway. I'm going to get him now to move behind the other one, to give whoever's in front of it advantage.
That would be Oriana, yeah. So,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Cedric moves down below.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your go?
That is the end of my go.
Excellent. As your go ends, behind you,
I knew it.
hearing as it is about to strike, is one of the guard that disappeared when you first walked into the castle. Because it cast invisibility on itself. So, there we go. It's going to be... that's going to be a 19 with advantage.
Yeah, obviously that hits.
Okay. And you are going to take... okay, so you take 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
But you also then take 9 force damage. As again, Sepsis, you hear the sound of an Eldritch blast hitting flesh as the glowing sword strikes 8 dice.
Sorry, how much force damage? You cut out again. I cut out, whatever.
8. I think, yeah, 8.
So 6 slashing, 8 force.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. No problem.
Okay. Worm.
Okay, Worm is going to... Worm can see through this darkness because Devil Sight. Worm is going to fly to Clint and attempt to free him from his bonds.
Okay. Cool. With that then, interacting with an object, they're quite tightly wound, and tightly kind of bound, but they are just ropes. Roll me a... do you want to try and slash them, or do you want to try and untie them?
Whichever Worm would assess as being easier, I suppose.
It's probably then going to be a slash.
I mean, yeah, it is worth mentioning that he's still a raven because it takes an action to polymorph back. So, yeah. Oh well, actually, it's polymorph, so he could just drop concentration and go back to his usual imp self. Yeah, okay. So he can be an imp.
Okay.
But yeah, if you reckon slash is the easiest way to do it, because it's an attack against, sort of an attack against Clint, right? And Clint can't see in the darkness, but Worm can. So does that mean it's at advantage?
It is at advantage, yeah.
Okay.
because he's squirming, but Worm can see him.
Good, thank you.
And then I'll tell you what the damage dice is.
14 damage. 14 to attack, rather.
14 does hit, because it's the
sweet.
rope he's aiming for, not Clint.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to lie to you, he doesn't do a lot of damage.
Okay.
Well, that's max at least, so he's done 7 damage to the rope.
7 points of damage. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. The rope does snap.
Excellent.
Clint is now in the fight.
Good.
That's Worm's end of Worm's go, yeah?
Yes, that's it.
Cool. Ace.
Ace is going to move the moonbeam.
Who does the moonbeam go to?
Goes to the chap with the most health, which is the
That would be the one behind dice, I
One.
suppose.
the
Yeah.
one behind dice.
Okay. You can move it up to 60 feet in any direction, so that's no problem at all. Hearing dice enter the fray on their own, you move the moonbeam, and it goes over the remaining guard there. So that's going to be con saving throw. That's going to be a 13.
13 is the con.
Cool. Okay, so it saves, so half damage.
Yep. That's going to be 8, so it'll be 4 damage.
4 damage. Excellent. Okay. There we go.
We established I can't make a melee attack in the same round, can I?
You can.
No, that's a bonus action to move the moonbeam.
Oh yeah, it is.
You can.
Oh, yeah, you
I
can.
will. I will.
No,
It's
sorry.
pretty.
I apologize. Each one of your turns after the spell, you can use an action to move the beam up to 60 feet. I do apologize.
It's okay.
So no, you can't do that in the same round. It is now Oriana's go. Unless you
Okay.
want to move, sorry, Ace.
I was going to move closer to Ori, actually.
You're
Okay.
in
I'm
melee with.
already. Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
I'm already.
you're
quite
right next
close
to it.
Never mind. Yeah.
You're touching Ori, so that's fine.
Mhm.
Ori's enjoying it. Oriana.
There she
Um,
is.
Oriana is going to. Oriana is very wounded,
Mhm.
and is going to turn to face the elf behind her. She is going to put her face inches from his, and say, "You, sir, are a pathetic failure. Nobody has ever loved you. Nobody will ever love you. Nobody could ever love you." And she is going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
If you could please give me a wisdom save. She is casting this at a 3rd level. If you could please give me a wisdom saving throw.
That's going to be a 9.
It does not save,
No, I
I'm
know.
afraid. So, first of all, there is damage to be taken.
Yes, there is. 3d6.
5d6, because I'm casting it at 3rd level.
Yeah. Shit. 5d6, please.
I have, however, rolled utter fucking garbage.
Oh no!
So it takes 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 psychic damage. But now it
Definitely looking hurt.
must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. The creature does not move into obvious dangerous ground, such as fire or a pit, on a successful save time, but it didn't successfully save, so that's irrelevant.
So, it's going to move
It's going to run away from where we are.
this way.
It certainly is.
So I
and
invoke a
As it does.
You
attack
wouldn't,
of
'cause you're not.
opportunity.
But I think Cedric would.
Mhm.
No, he doesn't get them, does he?
No.
Oriana does.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose she would, yeah. It doesn't explicitly say that you can take that, but I will.
However, because Oriana doesn't have Warcaster, it can only be a melee attack.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be she will crack him with her
Big stick.
quarter staff.
Cool,
It's an
go
interesting
for it.
question. Can you have an attack of opportunity on your own turn?
9. I don't think that hits.
9 unfortunately does not hit. It just swings wide as he tries to run away.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. It is now.
I like Dissonant Whispers. It's a good spell. It's a particularly good spell if you don't roll 4 2s and a 1 on your 5d6.
That is very bad luck.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. Cool. Okay, it is now, because that guy's dead, Sepsis's go.
Aha, Sepsis's go. Right, well, Sepsis, is it fair to say Sepsis believes that this chap over here is not affected by the darkness?
Yeah.
Right. Sepsis will drop concentration on the darkness and will replace it with silence.
Okay.
Cast on that gentleman there. Cast it with a packed slot. Makes most sense. Yeah, so silence, you know the drill with that.
Yeah, however, as
20-foot radius, and I will center this one on that dude.
As you begin to do so,
Yeah.
he stops chanting
Mm-hmm.
and immediately casts counter spell.
All right.
Well, you still-
It's a second level spell, so it immediately fizzles. I will use my remaining two sorcery points to quicken a nice Eldritch Blast for his
might.
balls. Sorry?
I thought you might.
Yes, it seems to be the thing to do. So we have a 20 and an 11 to hit.
20 and 11. The 20 hits, the 11 misses.
I had a feeling you might say that. 7 damage then.
7 damage, okay. And does that end your go?
That's really all I've got. Sorry, I forgot to say something on Oriana's go.
What?
Would it be alright if she activates her Mantle of Inspiration, please? Which is one of her bardic features. As a bonus action, you spend 1 use of bardic inspiration to grant 5 temporary hit points to up to 4 creatures you can see.
Absolutely.
And that can see you within 60 feet. Each creature can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Okay.
So those creatures are going to be Ace, Dice, and Ace, Dice, Cedric, and Oriana herself.
Awesome. Okay.
So everyone I just said gets 4 temporary hit points, and you can, if you want to, move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
How long?
Just this one.
As
Just
a
this
reaction, immediately. Yeah.
How long do the temporary hit points last, though? Sorry.
Well, the temporary hit points last until you lose them. And sorry,
Yeah.
it was 5 temporary hit points.
5. Okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to use their reaction to move?
Oriana does.
Oriana can't because she used her reaction this round.
Oh, you're right. Yep, that's quite true.
I'm quite happy where I am. at
Absolutely
the
going to
moment.
stay where I am.
Do you not want to engage that elf who's running away? And does Cedric not?
Wait, the elf's running away? It's really hard for me to... Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because he got Dissonant Whispered.
Cedric isn't affected by the Mantle of Inspiration, is he?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Right, in which case, Cedric will... Oh, if he uses his reaction for that, though...
He doesn't have a reaction. Cedric doesn't have a reaction.
Yes, he does. Cedric has a specific reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Select attack,
Okay.
Yeah, but he'd get it back at the beginning of his turn, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
which would be after this guy's turn, which means they could attack someone else and I can't deflect it, but no, Cedric won't. He can catch it later.
Okay. So someone's running away and near Ace, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, that guard's running away. Actually, Bri, point of order. I'm confused about why that guard's still so close to us, because he had to use his reaction to move as far as his speed allows away from Oriana. He's only moved 2 squares.
I apologise.
In which case, Cedric will absolutely go after him. See, it changes everything. Cedric will now go off to the guy to stay on his tail.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're giving Bri a good workout though. That's the important thing about this session.
Keeping him active in lockdown.
He's now going to go through Cedric to get away.
Good.
Nice.
Okay,
That's a brave choice.
cool. If that is the end of your go, the wizard dude, as you've been calling him, is going to look at you, and it's if he can see you past the almost total cover you have. And you do hear very gently over the blaze of the fire behind him, "I will remember you and your master, small one."
Yeah.
Waves his hands, utters an incantation, and in a purple portal of energy, disappears.
Oh,
Rude.
well, we don't much like that.
You're familiar with the spell, even if you cannot cast it. He has just used Dimension Door.
Yeah.
It is the remaining guy there, knowing that he's got to go through Cedric to get away then. He is going to make one, there we go. He's going to make 2 swings against Cedric. Okay. So that's double 14s. So that is going to be an 18 and an 18.
What, to hit? Yeah.
Yeah, both hit. Okay. So Cedric takes 9 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
And 7 points of force damage.
Yeah.
He also then takes another 3 points of slashing damage.
That's better. Yep.
And 1 point of force damage.
That's much better. I like the second rolls better. If you could roll like that, more that'd be grand.
Okay, Cedric's still up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, by miles.
Cool, okay. Can't get through Cedric, so Dice, your go.
I mean, he absolutely could. Cedric has no reaction, but I'm going to ignore the dude stood behind me.
Okay.
I was going to say I should have moved forward when I had that reaction opportunity, but to get out of base contact with him, but I didn't, so it's too late now. Can I get line of sight on that guard that's running away?
You've got line of sight. What's your range on your crossbow? It's over 60 feet, right?
It's a heavy crossbow. It's
Yeah, you're good. You've got line of sight on it.
Yeah. So half the time I have to end up rolling with disadvantage. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try and shoot him twice.
Okay.
First.
Shoot him once, shame on him.
Both
Shoot him
of those
twice, shame on you.
are not bad. That's a 19 to hit for the first one.
19 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Yeah, the damage is going to be 11 damage for the first one.
The crossbow bolt takes him as he is looking away and looking at Cedric. The crossbow bolt takes him to the side of the head, and he practically crumples over the top of Cedric. And he is gone, dead.
Okay.
Nice.
You can, while using that weapon, spin and fire with disadvantage at the guy standing next to you if you want.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. It's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, with disadvantage, because I add so much to this, it's 18 to hit.
18 hits, roll for damage.
The damage is a bit crapper though, which I guess makes sense. 8 damage.
8 damage. Still looks hurt.
Still looks hurt.
As he's hurt, not messed up or fucked up, he looks hurt. And you see him clutch with his free hand the crossbow bolt that is now sticking in his stomach as he almost doubles over. It is his turn.
Hang on. I don't think I have any. I'd like Cedric to move as close as he can.
To you.
Direction. Yeah, he's got 40 foot.
He's got 40 movement, yeah?
40, yeah.
Cedric moves then. He is within 10 feet of you.
Yeah, that's fine. He's not close enough to do anything this turn, but at least he's there. That is the end of my turn.
So the next guy, or the last guy, in his attempt to flee from you, is going to make 2 swings against you.
Okay.
The first one is a natural 1. His swing goes wide in his pain. The second one, however, is an 18.
The second one hits.
And you take... there we go, 10 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
1 point of force damage.
Okay. Fine.
And he is going to attempt to run.
And I'm going to attempt to shoot him in the head.
There we go. Nope.
Runs. Actually, just realised where he started his turn.
2d10.
Rolled a 1.
Yep.
Roll me 2d10 moonbeam damage, please.
Yeah, that is going to be 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say then, just for drama, as he attempts to run, he fries in the light of the moonbeam energy and falls down dead just outside the scope of its light. And we are out of initiative, so you can take away my pretty little glowing battle map if you want to.
Right, as soon as I can, I'm sending Worm up into the sky to look for this guy.
No problem.
You say I know the spell, so I would know the range roughly, right?
Yeah, you'd know the range. So
Okay.
you want Worm. Which direction do you want Worm to go in?
Well, straight up initially.
It is an incredibly heavily wooded area for miles around.
Okay. So we're near the house, right?
Yeah.
I would say first he should check whether the guy's in the house. So maybe go and look through the windows.
Cool. So roll me a investigation check for Worm.
Investigation check for Worm.
Come on, Worm, don't suck it.
Oh no. His intelligence is not that high.
I'm sure.
Oh, but I rolled a 17, so that's all right.
Okay. While he is searching, then, the rest of you, Clint walks over to you, battered, hungry, looking slightly worse for wear, but alive.
Mm-hmm.
So, my investigations went well. I think I learned a lot. I'll be honest. I think it was, all in all, being alive as I am, a resounding success.
Yeah. I'm very glad that you're alive.
I was almost out. I was almost out, ready to escape. Only needed maybe another 20 minutes. But you guys turned up early, so thanks.
I flick him in the head.
Reacher said that they had to undo your bonds and that they were quite tight.
Well, yeah, obviously, but small hands. No, but genuine. Thank you very much for saving me. Thank you for everything you've done.
It's okay.
I give him some bread that the lady gave me. I break some of it off and give it to him.
Has anybody got any water?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
While this is going on, I'm gonna do a lay on hands pool with Oriana.
She would very much appreciate that. She has 12 hit points and 5 temporary hit points for a total of 17.
I'll give her 20 then.
Oh, that's very nice. She appreciates it a lot. She probably throws her arms around Ace and presses their face directly into her bosoms.
That sounds right.
While
Ace
this
is going to very just like freeze up and be like, oh.
While I'm very much enjoying this display of affection and awkwardness from everyone, Oriana's
Oriana says, Ace, is that a holy symbol in your pocket, or are you just pleased to be here?
Ace sort of like slides away out of the crowd. Like a lizard.
I do have to explain. There's a lot of information that I need to disseminate to a lot of very important people, and probably explain to you as well. And we can't stay here for very long because they're probably coming back in much greater number.
Not
no, I'd like
inseminating
to
any
leave
of
now.
us.
We came to get you. Anything else is irrelevant. Let's leave.
Right. We can talk on the way. Let's go.
Worm hasn't found anything, I take it.
As you.
I have a question for the DM.
Okay, go for it.
Where was Jill?
No.
Jill stayed in the woods. Jill's not a fighter. Jill's recon.
Stealthy.
Jill's not a fighter. As you leave the ruins, Jill does then come out of the tree line going, is everything okay then?
You were very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I would have obviously told the relevant people that you died. You know, my job is information. I'm not a fighter. I know my place. And she looks at Clint, like pointedly looks at Clint as she says this. I know when to get involved and when not to. But I'm glad to see you're all alive. Are we leaving?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Sepsis, as this happens and you approach the back of the house, you get a telepathic message from Worm. It's deserted. There's nothing in there that I can find, boss.
All right, return to me.
There is a journal, I think you guys call it.
Take it.
Done. I'm on my way. And as you rush off into the woods then, fresh from your fight, I think we'll end it there, because we have gone
Better had.
25 minutes over where we said we were going to. Thank you, those who stuck with us. Thank you very,
Yes.
very, very, very much.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience. Sorry, I just didn't want to end it in the middle of a fight. Thank you for all the love for the new bits and pieces that I've got, the new little fire and stuff. I love how the symbols and the fire glowed in sync. I didn't mean for that to happen at all. Okay, yeah. So thank you. Session 29.
Yeah.
Wow. Fucking hell. Thanks for rocking up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. Thank you again to AD for
Thank you, AD.
being very quick behind the scenes and correcting all of our camera mistakes.
Yeah, sorry about that, and thank you. And yeah,
I'm sorry.
my bad. I'm gonna make it a tradition that I end every single one of these with an apology.
Yes.
It's getting better though. Like last time, I had to apologise to the entire nation of England. This time it was just to AD.
To be fair,
Yeah.
it's better than me ending every single D&D session with an apology to you guys.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, I do like AD better than the whole nation of England. So, oh shit, now I have to apologise to them again, don't I?
Right. But yes, thank you very much for sticking around. Join us here next week for session 30.
Yep.
So yeah, session 30, where we find out a lot more about, hopefully, about what was going on in this strange ruined temple.
Spoilers.
Potentially. And yeah, and you guys find out a lot more about this world. In the meantime, though, as I've said previously, go onto YouTube, check for or search for Dice of the Beholder. All previous 28 sessions are on there. This one will be on there by next week, edited for slightly for length. But yes, come along, join the story, find out what all the in-jokes are all about, and discover why no one has, while he's asleep, or while they are asleep, sorry, try to discover what race sepsis is. 30 sessions next week. None of them know. Okay,
Fine,
yeah.
they're not nosy.
But come along. It's been great. Also, not just Sunday. Come along on, hang on, is it Tuesday, Wednesday? Is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? or is there a break in between? 5 nights out of 7 a week, this channel is running tabletop role-playing games.
Tuesday,
Each and every
Wednesday,
one of them.
Thursday, and Saturday.
5 nights at 80s.
5 nights at it is 5 nights at 80s, and Sunday for us lot. Yes, but come along. Each and every one of them is fantastic. AD in particular is a wonderful GM.
I really need to watch some of the other
It's
stuff.
very, very much gravy time. But come along, come and watch AD just put his players through the ringer.
Yeah, well, that was dreadful. It sounded nothing
It
like
was terrible.
For someone who does like really good accents the whole session, you just like you come out of DM mode and immediately you're just
Sounds
like,
exactly like AD.
what does a northern accent sound like? Oh, gravy time.
That's what he sounds like.
It is not.
Place gravy in front of AD and see what happens.
Okay.
Right? It loses all sense of the word gravy. But anyway, sorry. Yes, but come along, especially on Wednesdays, to check out the new Masquerade one and to show them some love, Vampire Masquerade, because session 1 was awesome. So come along on Wednesday. But yeah, I can't froth enough about how much we've enjoyed joining AD's channel.
Yep.
Lot more
We love it
people
here.
watching us. It's great. Thank you very much.
We love it here, and not just because we get more attention.
Yes, but that helps. But yeah, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Next
Love
week.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.